mind explode. You should give it a whirl.
I'll pass if it's all the same to you.
Freeze! Everybody stay right where you are. Fantastic. 95% of the suspects were Doppels. Hey, Dirt, step on it.
There it is.
Fractale is a trillion-machine cyber network designed at the absolute cutting edge of 22nd century technology.
Well, not as nifty as an old-school scratch truck download, I guess, but still.
Their data can be downloaded at regular intervals by the sky-high hovering server. A basic income is then allotted to all participants in perpetuity. This system creates a world where everyone's financial means are met, regardless of their ability to work. Consequently, a world free of poverty and war. Indeed, it's no overstatement to call Fractale the godlike manifestation of humanity's oldest dream.
So this thing was patched about the time Fractale first came into existence. Not a bad accidental find. The world this old info track is talking about has been present tense for a while now. And that's right. Life is pretty sweet, mostly. People get by well when they don't have to bother interacting with each other in the flesh. Sometimes it's boring, sure, but it's not like the alternative wasn't given a shot.
Time for the 5 o'clock prayer. Based on your current location, the direction of the temple is approximately 10 degrees to the right of where you are facing. And now, let us pray together.
I guess if this is the most we've got to put up with, things could be
Remain
worse.
calm and refrain from blinking.
What is that? Am I seeing things? It's a girl. She's in trouble. This looks serious. I know it sounds crazy, but, well, for a second there, just for a second, it wouldn't have surprised me to see her fly. Well, at least she's breathing. If she really is a she, that is. Uh-oh. You really shouldn't try to move till we, know how badly... Oh. Suppose I should say hi.
Nice night?
You know, you're right. The Daystar's already headed down, so I guess it is night.
I guess so.
I'll just go and find something to patch you up with before it gets any worse.
Welcome home, son.
Find anything exciting at the flea market?
Got a bit more than I bargained for, actually.
What is it, Jackie?
Not to shrug you guys off for anything, but I was sort of hoping you could give me the night to myself. I just need some time alone, you know?
What's gotten into you all of a sudden?
Well, I suppose we could if it's all right with your father.
As long as you don't stay up too late. Good night, then.
Okay, the coast is clear. You can come in.
You're very kind, thanks.
You really think you're okay enough not to have to go to the hospital?
I forgot. There was one thing I wanted to... Clayne!
And who is this young lady?
No one, just,
My name is Fran.
don't start a conversation.
Oh, dear, the poor thing's hurt.
No, it's fine. Believe me. Look, I'll explain
Hold on
later,
just
okay?
Well, they seem very pleasant. Do those doppels belong to your parents?
That's right. And the little yapper who broke our cover was Jackie.
You didn't have to do that just for me, you know. Make your family disappear, I mean.
That's kind of a dramatic way of putting it. I mean, come on, they're just doppels.
Sure, if you
Oh,
say
yeah,
so.
let's get you fixed up. Let's see, first aid kit. It's not much, but it ought to take care of the scratches.
I should be able to tend to my wounds on my own if you don't mind giving me a little bit of privacy. Not to impose, of course.
Sure, not a problem at all. I'll just bury my head upstairs while you do your thing. You won't even know I'm here, so, yeah. What a weird girl. Weird, but... Well, I guess she's kind of nice, actually.
Sorry to trouble you. I believe I may need your help after all.
Fine, no problem. What'd you need?
You will have to look at me first.
You really don't mind?
I can't explain otherwise. I tried to reach here, but I'm too stiff, so if you'd be so kind.
You sure you don't need a hospital?
This is wonderful. I'm absolutely charmed. These objects wear an aura of history and care I find quite delightful. It's really magnificent.
Did I hear you right when you said your name was Fren? So not that it's any of my business or anything, but who are you exactly? I mean, why are people chasing you?
I'd rather not say.
Like I told you, it's none of my business anyway. I'm gonna say this one more time. Are you sure you don't need a hospital?
I'm so tired. Pardon me, but...
You startled me. Did you sleep okay?
What's this?
It's just a video file of when I was a little baby. Those are my parents. I mean, you know, the real ones.
I owe you an apology for implying your family wasn't important to you. Clearly I misjudged your feelings if you're sentimental over something like this.
I don't know if I'd call myself sentimental. The video data in this format is crazy hard to come by these days, and I kind of have a thing for collecting old stuff, so I... But my parents are cool.
It's different. Your smile held a different aura then. Your face no longer accommodates such joy.
Oh, come on, I smile plenty. My face is just more cool.
You misunderstand me. I demand that you smile as you do in this video. Like this, perhaps.
Is this what you mean?
You have a silly face.
I guess. You looked in the mirror?
Now I'm satisfied that baby was you. I look up to the sky and offer my wish to the day star.
Hey.
I offer a wish on your behalf. One that I hope... Oh, wait, I need to know your name first.
It's Clay.
Lovely. I look up to the sky and offer my wish to the day star.
is that?
This amulet has always been the source of my smiles, so keep it close, and from now on, maybe it can be the source of yours, too.
Good evening. We're from a local medical agency. We've come to take the injured woman into custody.
You don't mean like the hospital, do you? Because I haven't actually called anyone about it.
Well, that's because Fractale alerted us to the woman's condition, which according to the database is bad enough to need an ambulance.
You really expect me to believe that's an
Are
ambulance?
you calling me a liar? You see that little red blinky thing? How much more legit you want us to look?
Hey, don't be a smartass. If we tell you it's an ambulance, it's a freaking ambulance, okay?
Bad news, friend. I think those guys know you're here.
So that was them, then?
The good news is I think you still might be okay. They don't exactly strike me as brains, this bunch.
There's something I have to tell you.
Here they come again. You sit tight, I'll handle them.
I'm traveling with my sick brothers, and we really need a place to stay for the night. You'd be so kind.
Well, I'll give them one thing. They're pretty persistent.
Queen, I really should...
Oh, come on.
We're from security, and we're looking for a suspicious female whose data can't be tracked.
Okay, apart from the hat you borrowed from your buddy, you look exactly the same.
Well, excuse us for not rolling in enough donate to buy a more convincing costume, Mr. Detective.
Your finances aren't really the issue here, so...
I only want to hear one thing out of you. Where have you got her squirreled away?
I don't know what you're...
What gives you luck has the rush?
Upstairs.
Look, you can't just barge into someone's home.
You pervert! I caught you in the middle of doing something you shouldn't have.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't try to play innocent.
Ignore the egg, man. This little creep is making it all stupid, so you have to fill in the blanks yourself and end up saying something super embarrassing and unladylike.
You're gross. Sanitize.
Yes, ma'am!
You better not be making a mess! Get out of my stuff!
What's the big idea making us think she's here? Let's go before we waste any more time.
Yeah, Big Bro will be waiting for us.
Wait, hold on a second.
Having trouble with flesh here?
Not exactly.
Whoa, okay. There you are.
Do you think they'll mind that I borrowed this?
That is really cool. It's just a little farther. This is the one place where radio waves don't reach. No one will be able to find you up here. It's the ruins of an old chapel I found a while back. Not sure how old they are, though. I kind of consider them my secret hideout or whatever.
You have a very fascinating perspective on things.
Yeah.
I've often heard that the people living in this era romanticize the idea of personal freedom until it defines them. They won't be tied down, not for anything.
What do you mean, people living in this era? If you don't want to say.
I guess it's only natural you'd be curious about who I am.
I mean, that is a priestess outfit you've got on, right? On second thought, never mind.
You aren't curious?
Hey, when you want me to, I'll be all ears. It's getting pretty chilly up here.
This ought to generate enough warmth to keep us from freezing.
You say so?
The moon is so bright.
Yeah?
From where I used to live, I'd gaze up at it every night. Of all the lights in the sky, hers was the only one that made me feel at peace. No matter what I was going through at the time, I'd only ever feel her gazing down on me with love. I know he'll look after you.
Friend, where'd you go? That's gratitude for you. Just like that, she might as well have never been here. Well, it's the same with everybody. Why not her? I mean, really.
And a great big good morning to Plain.
You're a...
I'm a...
This is probably a dumb question, but are you a double? Because it's almost like I could reach out and touch you.
You want to pat my head and see if you're right? Oh, don't be so shy. You'll never know if you don't.
This is unreal.
That's what everyone says. Like reaching out and touching someone's the most mysterious thing ever. Nessa likes being mysterious, though.
Nessa?
That's my name.
Is Friend playing some kind of trick on me?
Friend?
Oh, come on, really? You can't tell me you don't even know the girl who left you here.
Nessa got left by this person? Why did Friend leave? Did Nessa do something to make her angry?
No, I mean, I don't think that's the case.
Yay, she doesn't hate me! Nessa really doesn't like the thought of making people angry. Nessa likes making people as happy as they can possibly be. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. I look up to the sky and offer my wish to the day.
What is going on? If she's not Friend's double, whose is she? Safe bet they're a weirdo, whoever they are. Which does make Friend the obvious suspect.
A great big good morning to you!
How many girls do you bring home when we're not around?
It's not what you think, I swear! She's just something the girl from yesterday left behind!
Left behind?
How can she touch Jackie?
Oh, I see. She's not a human girl, is she? That's different.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what she is.
Regardless, you better get her back to her owner.
Failing that, the only thing forward is to hand her off to the police.
Oh, come on!
Now, hey, does she belong to you?
Great! It turns into a giant bow!
Even if Friend wanted this, whatever it is, back, I don't have the first clue where to find it.
Those birds are so happy they're floating on air! Nessa thinks birds are neat. Hey, do you know what Friend thinks birds are neat?
How the heck should I know? Friend, if I manage to track you down, you've got some serious explaining to do.
The wind feels so good on my face. It must think I'm really cute because it can't stop tickling my cheek.
Stop messing around up there! You'll fall. See what I tell you? Good thing you're just a double, sort of. Otherwise, you might have been hurt. Hello?
Crane, touch my face.
What are you talking about? Why should I?
Touch me. You did it. You do like me.
No need to make a big deal out of it.
Crane really likes Nessa. Why have so many buildings if they're all empty and sad looking? Nessa doesn't like quiet. Aha! A real person!
You really don't know how anything works, do you? Basic facilities are all that are left here. There's a police station, a store, some other stuff too, but not a whole lot. No one actually lives here anymore.
Huh?
Look, I don't know how to say this nicely, but you can't stay at my place. Why not give here a try? Sure, it's...
Yay! A clock tower!
Hold up! Nessa, you can't just go in there without permission. You listen to me?
Wow! Beautiful! Look at all the vehicle thingies. Are all of those people on vacation?
No, those are caravans. That's where they live.
What?
Some people like not being tied down to any one place. That way, whenever a star falls, they just kind of pick up and move on.
Star?
You know, balloons. Radio waves are usually stronger around an old downtown. When you can go where you want to, you can tune in easier.
But you still have a normal house, don't you?
Well, yeah. See, I'm obsessed with old stuff. My mom says I have too much of it and it's clutter.
Those people have lost their way.
Huh?
None of them have real homes. All they do is wander around from place to place.
It's not all that bad. If they had a real home, it's not like they'd have anybody but doubles waiting there for them anyway. This way they can go where the wind takes them without answering to anyone. Believe me, having a picket fence and a thatched roof isn't always everything it's cracked up to be. How can she be so fast? This is getting ridiculous. Look, please. Stop taking off like that!
Sir, what is this you're watching? Excuse me, but wouldn't it make you 10 times happier for someone to pat you on the head?
Huh?
Wow! these things. Where do they go to the bathroom? Let's go back.
Are you kidding me?
I think we should.
The baby's actually and the tanks are getting all dimply.
Will you pay attention? Oh, come on!
It's her fault. That girl over there screws up everything she touches. You're not leaving without paying some serious damages.
No one has ever annoyed me so much, so
Oh,
quickly.
wow, that was fun. So, where do you want to go next?
The police. You need to be where they can keep an eye on you. You're not my responsibility.
Why not? Nessa really likes having fun with Clayne.
Listen!
After all, Clayne is where Nessa's home is.
Huh?
That's the way it works, because you're the one who brought out Nessa. From that moment on, Nessa called wherever Clayne happened to be home.
Her smile. Why does it terrify me?
What's wrong? Oh no, that's not good. Clayne can't touch Nessa anymore? Let's go to the police then.
Nessa.
Bear in mind, we can't hold on to her indefinitely. Let's just hope someone makes a claim.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Clayne! Problem, kid?
You.
Oh well, now you know what sabotage feels like. Serves you right. Payback's a bitch.
Wonderful.
Seize him!
Yes, ma'am!
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Heath. Oh, Heath.
Oh, would you please?
Here's the package, boss.
What is wrong with you people?
This guy? Seriously? Kinda young to be hiding a priestess.
What?
Spill it, kiddo. Where have you got the girl holed up?
I don't know where she is. She was gone when I woke up.
You trash! You admit she was with you before you fell asleep, you filthy freaking pervert! Sanitize!
Sanitize!
Henry? So a ladies' man. And still a boy.
Like you're so much older than me. If I'm a boy, then what does that make you, buddy?
I hear you stirred up quite a scene at the vagabond camp. You gonna own up to it or insist I've got the wrong guy?
That wasn't me. It was Prince Doppel or whatever she is.
Yeah?
Yeah, I lost track of her before you dragged me here. Dumb thing's got a mind of its own. I have no idea.
Light a fire, pants on fire! You say this thing is a she, and yet you expect us to believe you haven't kept tabs on her, you pervert!
Stop saying crap like that. You don't know anything about me.
Okay, you're free to go.
Oh, yeah?
Thank you.
Tell me something first. You people rely on doppels like fish rely on water. Except that not even plankton allows the ocean to do their breeding for them. But still, you can't tell me you didn't like the shock of living life firsthand. Assuming someone your age even has a frame of reference for what I'm talking about.
Maybe I don't care. Why go through all that just to cut me loose? Either they think my eyesight's terrible, or these doofuses are really, really bad at tailing. Finally. No Fryn, no Nessa. Peace and quiet all the way. Is it me, or does this room somehow seem bigger? Some folks think it's strange I've never had my own doppel. Truth is, I just don't like the idea of there being another me running around. So yeah, my frame of reference is a little different than you'd think. Okay, searching for touchable doppel. Bingo, the line's been in development for a while. That explains Nessa. Alright. The Doppel's remote processing unit calculates factors like pressure, accrual, and specific gravity. Knockoff prototypes have been circulating on the black market as concubines. I guess I kind of do look like a pervert. Hold on. To interact with them physically, the Sims data has to be transferred into the target user's fractal terminal. I haven't done anything like that. So much for explaining Little Miss Juggernaut.
Klein?
Why don't you have a seat, son? We'd like to talk.
You know, son, secrets are very unhealthy things for a family to turn a blind eye to.
What your father means is, well, if something's on your mind, we want you to feel you can share it with us.
What would there be?
Your mother and I simply feel that, well, that here lately you just haven't been acting like the Klein we know.
You hang out in unseemly places, and you bring strange girls home.
Wait, I know how it looks, but friend...
I'm not done. We allow you to live alone because we've always felt that you were mature for your age, that we could trust you.
And we think it's time you thought of our trust more like a responsibility than a privilege.
If you're so concerned about keeping tabs on me 24/7, then why don't the two of you come here and live with me in person?
Oh, don't be absurd, Clay. Our essential freedoms would be compromised if we did that. It's only through respect for those freedoms that a family can function to begin with. We'd be glorified babysitters otherwise.
Imagine this family living under one roof. We'd essentially be keeping one another prisoner.
That's the way it works, because you're the one who brought out Nessa. From that moment on, wherever Klein was home.
Look, if you weren't important to us, your mother and I wouldn't use our doppels to watch over you as we do.
Spin it however you want to. You're too wrapped up in yourselves to really care about my life.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. This isn't you.
Where does this come from? You've never talked to your father that way.
Okay, whatever.
Klein!
Maybe it's just your doppels. Maybe there's a glitch in your frequencies that makes it seem like I'm acting different. What's wrong with me? It feels like I've been running for hours. It's like something inside me is about to tear open. Who runs at full tilt like this for no reason? My lungs are practically fighting to burst out of my throat. I am completely alone. And it's not fair to blame Mom and Dad either. I'm mature enough to know that. I choose to be alone. I can't be bothered to risk having to change pace. That's why I shrugged Nessa off.
Time for the 8 o'clock prayer.
They're not fooling anyone with that crap. All you want is my data. All of this is just a stupid trick to keep us happy and alone.
Let us pray together.
Unless...
I look up to the sky and offer my wish to the day star.
My wish. Is it that I want to see Fryn again? Or say I'm sorry to Nessa? I'm not really sure, but... I know I don't want to be alone. Your smile isn't that scary.
Klein! I'm home!
Actually, it's kind of nice. Welcome back.
You're so warm.
So are you.
Thanks! Wait up!
Wow, look at this stuff! They're using actual antique monitors!
Oh, the pretty yellow blue. This is not a field trip, Pipsqueak, in case you haven't noticed.
No way! You've got to be kidding me!
Can it! A real cannon for you! Say hello!
Your sniper's using a bona fide optical sight! I have found paradise!
You're an anti-trigger finger from the real deal! Oh, hello! Henry! You're back! Yep. You finished all your homework?
Welcome back!
I take it that's the troublemaker Soon has been up in arms about?
Right. Sorry. We've got more company! It's so nice to meet you. Let's shake hands, Kate!
outfit. What splendid fashion sense she has. Oh, that's precious. Let me get a closer look. Just a darling.
Thank you, Emily!
I don't get it. Why couldn't they see Nessa before you pointed her out?
We'll see.
Keep your distance, everyone. Bad customs spread like plague.
Bad customs.
Right! Meet and greet's over, people! And Big Brother wants a word with you, too.
Hey, welcome. Good to see you both. Please excuse the mess. Here. Let's you and me have a little powwow, Tiger. Just one reckless romantic to another, huh?
Wait, you... So now what?
That person doesn't like Nessa. Huh? Because if he did, he'd be able to touch Nessa like the rest of his friends.
Seriously?
Nessa chooses to stay with Henry. Excuse me? Come on, let's hunt treasure. Show Nessa where you found the teddy bear! That wasn't treasure! We just used that stupid thing to beat you! Rivka! Hell, you will!
They're all crazy.
All right, kiddo.
So we're back to that, are we?
You ever heard of the Lost Millennium?
What?
The 1,000 years before Fractale. The era when we all lost our way. When the human race sold its independence up a river, all for some naive idea of luxury.
Oh, great, a lecture.
Well, there are some of us who decided to adopt that dark era's name and take up arms to oppose Fractale. Sure, we Granites are just a drop in the bucket, but a sizable faction all the same. Not something to sneeze at if you know your stuff.
Oh, man. Lost Millennium? I'm being held hostage by a ragtag group of terrorists.
Drink your coffee before it gets cold.
Yeah, okay.
It's not every day you get treated to something made the old-fashioned way. This village produces by hand every single thing it consumes. We don't rely on doppels. We teach our children using, wait for it, books, so their heads are filled with actual knowledge instead of just empty terabytes of data. And each of us who calls this place home has had their fractal terminal removed to make room for more important things.
Come on, you're pulling my leg.
Not at all. What choice does a person have if he intends to live as he was meant to? As a human!
Whoa, you have a dish towel?
With just a little bit of patience, the problem will rectify itself.
You're just gonna air dry?
My point is that Fractale is on the brink of collapse. The fact balloons keep falling out of the sky is proof enough of that. The powers that be can rail to the contrary all they like. It doesn't matter. The temple will preach about freedom as long as it has the breath to lie. The Lost Millennium sees through their masquerade.
I'm sorry, I really have no idea what you're talking about, but could you just tell me what you guys want with Bryn?
You mean the temptress you got all lovey-dovey with? She's the key to the world, my friend. A priestess of the temple with a very harsh fate.
Okay, still not following you.
Look, kiddo, all you need to know right now is this. The girl stole a doppel from the higher-ups.
You're not telling me she made off with Nessa?
She risked life and limb to smuggle her out, which translates as pretty damn important.
So it's just as I thought.
Your run-of-the-mill doppel wouldn't warrant that effort unless it contains sensitive information. Information capable of bringing the temple down to its knees.
You're gonna use Nessa as a pawn.
I'd consider my situation before I got too uppity. After all, you are gonna be here for a while.
You walk so fast, Henry. Nessa doesn't see the point for us to be in such a big fat rush. Stop following me. Oh, wow. Is this where you guys live? No, it's just our mothership. Nessa, that's where there's a ship. There's all kinds of treasure. Go back to your stupid friend already. You're driving me up a wall. Jeez. Oh, man. Since when does a doppel have to be so damn chummy? Hello!
Condition check complete. Your condition today, according to...
Someone's had more sugar than she should have. Oh, you wanted privacy to use the bathroom. Just remember to wipe your bottom when you're done, okay?
Fine mess I've gotten myself into. Really fantastic.
Nurse, this man needs a sedative.
Not that it's any of my business, but is this place some kind of hospital?
Sort of. We have inpatient facilities, but there aren't really enough beds to go around. We can't do much here beyond simple first aid.
I've never seen so many people in need of care gathered under one roof like this.
Well, if these folks had the luxury of fractal access, they'd be welcome to a hospital of their choice, more or less. But this village is a different story.
Why remove their terminals if this is the price?
It may not be pleasant, but that's the price of fighting the good fight. The sooner you understand that no amenity is worth giving up your freedom, the closer you'll be to a real person.
But this...
No point arguing if you don't understand the issue. My damn knees are giving me trouble again.
I'm so sorry. The wait today is a fairly long one.
There you are, Claire! Nessa can tell you what color underwear.
A real person. What makes you think I want to know? Her underwear doesn't interest me.
God, just blurt it out, why don't ya? Like I wanted you to be interested anyway!
What's wrong with him?
Alrighty, let's drink. No, wait, for that, everybody visors. Chop chop.
That is one impressive double.
Right, time for a toast. Here's to our esteemed hostages.
We're definitely blessed. You're so quiet. Are you sad?
These people just confuse me. That's all, I guess. They've built their entire lives around a crazy idea, and they look like good people, but I don't feel like I can trust them.
Here you go.
And this is what?
Smelly grass and bean soup.
Go on, gulp it down.
It's not out of a tube, but I will. This is weird. It's such a complicated flavor. Get out of here. First it's all sweet, and it's salty.
Come on, just tell us if you like it.
Yeah, no. It's amazing.
Excellent. Thanks. Help yourself to more.
What's the matter? Beans not agree with your tummy, sweetheart.
Think about it, Granny. She doesn't have a tummy, so she can't even eat it.
Oh, quite right, dear. I'm so sorry.
This is gonna be your bedroom for the next few days.
Just do us a favor and don't make too much noise.
Told you before! Why the heck is there only one bed? Do these people really think a guy my age wants to mess around with a kid like Nessa? Gross. What's your problem?
Nessa wants you to tell her what the bean soup thing was like.
Well, it was very tasty. It was sweet and salty kind of at the same time.
I need more details than that.
I guess the beans were pretty soft, but beyond that, I can't think how best to describe it. There might have been a hint of bitterness in there somewhere.
Nessa doesn't understand. You should express the taste through the power of dance.
How's that gonna help at all?
Nessa can't understand words about food because she doesn't eat food.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the only way for her to get it is to sort of make it go with something else.
Okay, fine then. Maybe it was a little something like this. I don't know.
Bean soup tastes like sneaking around in the dark?
No, wait, it was more like this. Kind of starts up here like this, and then whoa, smell it!
Bean soup tastes like being overjoyed? Tell Nessa what the pancakes are like.
I think they were more down here, like this.
Hooray! Pancakes are like slinking around in the mud.
The lovebirds are getting lively.
You ask me, the lovebirds are getting downright weird.
What's the matter, Clean? Did you have a bad dream? Are you getting ready for some kind of party?
You could say that. We just got word they're holding a star festival tonight.
What?
Temple must be getting anxious to bump up the date.
You mean one of those ceremonies where the temple priestesses gather everyone together to pray and stuff?
Butcher, get the let out, man. In case no one's told you, this side's 3 whole sectors to the west. Unless you know a faster route.
Sorry, sir.
Exactly what are you cooking up?
What do you think, kid? The Granite Clan is gonna gate crash themselves the Star Festival.
Huh?
Best suit up, Tiger.
Hold on.
Nessa can't wait. A star festival! Idiot, this is a travel agency, Ginger Snap. You park your butt here. No!
No way. Their ship is a gold mine of antiques. This is the coolest thing ever.
All right. Reality check, people. We're about to put our heads in the lion's mouth, and some of us may not be coming back. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Ugh, give me a break. Make it sound like we're going to war.
You have no idea what you're in for, do you?
Well, hey, they say ignorance is bliss. The fractal terminals are good for one thing, letting idiots stay blissful.
And with all the womanizing you do, it's a wonder you can think at all.
If you don't stop taking shots at me, I'm going to plant my foot in your...
Get this straight, big guy. Claim is as sweet as they come. Ah! What the? I thought we left her back at the village.
I had a feeling feeling we'd run into this. She's pure data, an abstract concept, meaning Little Miss Sunshine can go where she pleases.
Nessa isn't only data. That's how she got in the bathroom.
Bathroom?
You stop it!
Coming in for a landing. What is a star festival, you think? That question is for our youngest recruit.
Give me a break. Everyone knows that. At the new moon, a bunch of stars, well, balloons actually, cluster in the sky and temple priestesses pray to them. It's how people guarantee divine protection for themselves for the upcoming phase. Refuse to participate and all kinds of stuff starts going haywire on you. Even folks who aren't really all that religious take part just to keep their doppels up to date.
I'd give that answer a D. Ever wonder why people toe the line even though the festival can't satisfy secular needs anymore?
Captain, if we get any closer, we might as well send the priest as a gift basket.
Good. Bring her down then.
Wowie, there's so many people here.
Okay, if I just pick my moment, maybe I can get somebody to rescue me from these head cases.
Put these on before the festival or the so-called stars will get you too.
Wait, what do you mean they'll get me?
All right, it's showtime.
It's about to happen.
Look up to the stars. Give them your prayers. Be at peace. Bask in abundance. You will be received into heaven's rest. There we shall know love. Look up to the stars. Give them your prayers. Be at peace. Bask in abundance.
What's going on? What's wrong with everyone?
Stars. See how they're pulsing?
Yeah?
This isn't some quaint religious rite. It's the temple's pretext for updating the nanostream.
What does that mean?
It's brainwashing.
Brainwashing?
Leave people to their own thoughts, and sooner or later they start questioning the powers that be. If you're in a position of power, the last thing you want folks to ask is whether or not the way things are is the way they have to be. People start wondering why they rely on doppels so much, why families don't live under one roof anymore. But hey, hook everyone up to a nanostream and a simple update erases all that pesky thinking. People go right on accepting life as they've always known it because they've been sapped of all incentive to doubt.
But people...
Open up your damn eyes and take a look around. Do they look like people to you? Fractals made them husks of what they could have been. Move out!
Just stay out of the way.
You filthy lying hags! Die already!
It's another me. Hey! What the hell are you doing?
Vile treacherous turncoats who defile our sacred ceremony. You shall be judged by the heavens. Come back here. What happened?
What the hell have they done to us? They're all... This should make things easier.
Follow my lead, okay? Don't be scared. I'm gonna have a word with your friend.
My sister? Come with us.
No! What are you thinking?
Switch over to manual navigation. We don't want the temple sniffing us out.
Roger that.
Stupid fat bastard! Wouldn't have killed you to lose some weight. We told you that you gotta be able to run! Damn you!
I've never seen a dead guy before. Not up close. It's like he's made of plastic now or something. Just like that. These people are murderers. This is life for them. Hey, it's me. Hello. How's it going down here? Right, so let's skip the small talk. It's okay. We're gonna get you out. Just hold tight. Take my word for it. We're not among friends. Just do me a favor. Take Nessa back once we're out of here. This lot's insane.
You're getting Nessa back?
Don't get me wrong. It's been fun. But Fryn is where you really belong, okay? Ta-da! Freedom.
Just who do you think you are? What made you think you were entitled to awaken Nessa?
Wait, what? You walked out on me without so much as saying thank you. I was curious about the amulet, so I did a little research.
You presume to research it? What a despicably untrustworthy thing to do.
Hold on. That's way out of line. You can't let a mystery like that hang in the air and expect a guy not to be interested.
Don't you dare hit Clay! Never again!
Don't, Nessa.
People who hit Clay are mean! Nessa doesn't like mean people, and Nessa likes liking people!
Sorry, it's the legs. They kind of got a mind of their own, you know.
Don't say.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to break this little party up. The priestess and I need a moment to ourselves. If you'll excuse us, I'll escort her somewhere a bit more private.
I don't need to be escorted.
You alright?
Nessa doesn't dislike very many things, but she definitely dislikes her.
Daughter of the archpriestess. Excuse me, key to the world. Why'd you run away from the temple? Oh yeah, and that flighty little doppel you decided to take with you as a parting gift? Is she... It's not important. Only a matter of time before the whole shebang collapses anyway.
That's one way of putting it, yes.
Oh? So we share that opinion. Well, you know, with that attitude, someone with your knowledge of the temple would be a prized addition to the family. But we'd want you to take your time with a leap that big. And in the meantime, you can watch the world crash and burn from the safety of our ship. Sound good?
Don't weep. We've all returned to ash in the end. That's the way of things. Remember the cause our brother died for. You should be glad for him.
Okay, I'll be glad. I won't cry.
Atta girl, spoken like a warrior.
They really have no perspective. I mean, give me a break. At the end of the day, he was a terrorist. He got what was coming to him.
I look up to the sky and offer my wish to the day star that wears me acceptance of pain.
Nessa, cut it out.
So it shines like a to the sky and offer. What you looking at? Granny? What is it?
Put on your goggles, dear.
I look up to the sky.
What the hell is she singing?
And offer my wish to the day star.
Take off your visor!
Oh, sweetheart, he didn't mean to yell.
We bid the day star good night, though darkness will fall as it slumbers. Our dreams will reach out to the sky, shining from heights above like the stars. I look up to the sky.
Another of Fractale stars has dislodged from the firmament,
as did its sister the day before, and their sisters before that. This world is crumbling before our eyes, fast approaching the brink. For that reason, the lost millennium will no longer be tolerated. We have forgiven them their wayward antics in days past out of pity. That ends now. By abducting one of the world's beloved maidens, they've effectively surrendered their right to our indulgence. That they would take advantage of Fractal's decadent state is unpardonable. There is but one answer for such an offense. Suppression. If these errant children still refuse to re-enter the fold in the here and now, then they will embrace Fractal in the sweet hereafter.
These goggles are too big for me, Grandma.
Come here, love.
They've already got us on the most wanted list.
Well, they can cast their nets wide as they want. We should still be pretty safe here, as long as we're watching the lower frequencies bouncing off the radio outposts.
We come bearing gifts, food and blankets for the lot of you.
Oh, thank you.
Go on and wheel them in. Is it true that the whole clan's gonna clear out the town?
Yeah, it's better for everyone if we leave before the temple tries to get its hooks into you for helping us. Right now, they're only ticked off at the granites. We'd like to keep it that way. The last thing any of us want to do is draw their attention to the good folks who've given us a hand when we've needed it.
It's inconceivable how cruel the temple can be, forcing an angel like Sambo into life on the run.
Well, I'm a whole lot stronger than the temple thinks I am. I can even eat fish bones sometimes like Grandpa.
In theory, you all stand a much better chance of survival the further away the Granite Clan gets from here.
Well, yeah, but what about your own chances?
We'll be all right. It's a hell of a lot easier running from ghosts than flesh and blood human beings. And what are they but a bunch of ghosts? I mean, face it, that's why the temple idiots want us in the first place. They're jealous of the lifeblood coursing through our veins.
Maybe, but...
Hey, you agree with me, don't you? That's right, use those lungs. Take a page, everyone. The future cries out to be fed. Fed on a steady diet of fresh air, adventure, and true freedom. We should all be wailing like babes right now. Let our voices be heard. The lost millennium is the future, and the Granite Clan is proud to be a part of it.
To the move on, we sail at dawn. No time for dilly-dallying.
No,
We get out of here while we're on solid ground. Got a ways to go.
we're running away?
Yep, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place the longer we stay here. The temple's no good, and we can't trust these freaks. But what am I gonna do about Friend?
Stop it. Flame's thinking about Fred, isn't he?
Well,
Get that mean person out of your head right this instant! Think only about Nessa from now on! Nessa! 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 Nessa!
All women and children take cover in the rocks. Everyone else to defensive positions.
Bear in mind, people, our first priority is to steer the beloved maiden clear of the enemy. Innocent bystanders should be spared whenever possible, but don't let them cloud your judgment. If these granites get in your way, you have my permission to fire. However, we do not intend this to be a massacre. I want these poor souls to see us as avatars of Fractal's blessing.
Hey, didn't take you long to find us, huh?
Oh, we've been aware of this place. In her munificence, though, the Archpriestess turned a blind eye to you. Would that your sense of gratitude were equal to it.
Yeah, damn shame.
Now, show no mercy.
Nicely done, Henry. Now go do the east side before the bastards circle around back.
Granny, what are you doing? We've got to hurry. Where did Nessa run off to? I can't see her. She's just a doppel. She's fine.
Okay, this isn't good.
Wow, look at all the pretty flashing lights, Flame!
So come on! Friend, that must be where they were keeping her. She's gonna get herself killed!
Don't even think about rescuing her!
What?
Nessa forbids you from rescuing Fred!
Nessa, come on, this is no time to be jealous. She's gonna get hurt if we don't help her out.
So?
Look, I'm going to her. You're not just gonna stand there. Seriously? Suit yourself. Fred!
Where is she?
Well,
You don't have to cover for her. I know she hates me.
what? No. I mean,
It might surprise you to know she was very fond of you long before you had the chance to meet. I thought no one would be able to access that data without guidance, least of all someone like you.
Where are you going?
I can't let myself be captured by the temple. I'm sorry, but I don't think you and I are very likely to see each other again.
Whether you like it or not, I have a right to know what's going on. You totally left me in the dark. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'll let you try and pull that crap on me a second time.
I left you in the dark and for a good reason. Can't you see that?
If it's so wrong of me to want to get to know you a little better, that's why I hacked the amulet in the first place. I just wanted to.
Oh, thank the stars, our beloved maiden is all right. I was getting a little worried.
You got us. What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
I was asking if I happened to be someone you like. Nessa said she likes liking people, right? Well, I'm sorry. I don't feel the same way she does.
There you are, you naughty little girl. Innocent blood was about to be spilled because of you. Are you so selfish that another's life holds no value? No, of course we know you're better than that, don't we, darling girl?
Who the heck is this creep?
It's a shame the same thing can't be said of your would-be-a-better. Whatever he's convinced you his motives are, friend, he only wants what every hormone-riddled boy his age wants. Now you've only 3 choices. And sadly, the world has just so much time to spare waiting for you to reach a decision. The first option, you behave as one of the world's beloved maidens are meant to behave.
What is he talking about?
Which means you return to the temple without a fuss. 2, you could do so flailing about like a bird. Or 3, you could stay out here in the wilderness and waste away to nothing. Which will it be? Disconsolate child! There is no 4th option!
Wait! What are you gonna do? Whoa. Maybe she really can fly.
How much must those who love you endure before you see reason? If you let them get away, every one of you can make your careers a bitter farewell! Fly to the corners of the earth if you like! Your foulness leaves a trail wherever you go! I will sniff out your inequities and track you like garden game!
Look, it's complicated. Sort of.
No matter. Just keep the leash nice and tight so she doesn't get herself into trouble. Lucky for you, if you can endure being treated like a 5th wheel for a bit, we'll cut you loose. Eventually, that is. It may be a while before we can plan a side trip to drop you off, so best steel yourself to being here. Unless...
Wait, This is...
your very own parachute. Not a lot of people get to experience free fall these days. May seem a bit daunting on the face of it, but the most you'll do is break a leg. You want me to show you how to use it? If you don't have the balls for that, kiddo, I suggest you make yourself useful.
Seriously, who cleans my hand anymore? It's barbaric. No, that's not it. A better word.
The seat back has not been sufficiently cleaned.
You've gotta be kidding.
I just told you those go up on the shelf, bozo!
I heard you. I just need a second to rest, okay?
Oh, hey, don't worry. You can rest all you want after I throw your lazy butt off the proudest ship.
For your information, I didn't sign up to be a cabin boy for a bunch of terrorists.
You know, for someone who treats women like slabs of beef, you sure do take the moral high ground an awful lot. The lost millennium is not about terrorism.
Oh, please, spare me the lecture.
Well, go on. No one's forcing you to stay on board. Of course, we know you're too afraid to jump.
Think I'm too scared to use a stupid parachute?
You're miserable and still on the ship, aren't you?
Maybe I have other reasons.
What's that supposed to mean? Wait, don't tell me you're getting all pervy again.
Give me a break already. I wasn't thinking anything pervy. It's not like that.
Easy does it, son. Your first time doing laundry, I take it. Ah, me, how I envy all the new experiences in store for someone your age. Very satisfying, isn't it? You sweat all over the clothes you work and then clean them again, hang them out to dry, only to repeat the whole mess over. Circle of life, eh? In fact, from the looks of them, I'd say your pants could use a good scouring.
You think?
Take them off and hand them over.
Wait, this second?
Uh-huh.
But don't we need to get this laundry done?
Now.
No!
There's no need for you to feel embarrassed. Please, I'm begging you, don't do... Oh. What on earth is that?
I saw this in an old book and thought it looked cool.
Well, I don't know about cool, but you are a man.
First the square one, the long one, then we find a little one. Oh, good job! Now make that one next. Hold on, I'll go get us some more.
Who are you talking to?
I'm playing with Nessa. Aw, she's gone.
Nessa, will you just come out already? I know you're here somewhere. I could Sanko see her and I couldn't. Does she hate me now? Fantastic. Come on, don't be like this.
Fortunately, the Obsidian boys down south are willing to take us all in if we try to keep a low profile for the time being.
Do you guys always eat together?
Sure, food's always better when you have some good conversation with it. Try to do this whenever we can.
How do you not get sick of each other?
They keeping you busy, Tiger? Feels good, right? Life returning to those rarely used limbs?
Just reminds me how much I prefer not to be busy.
Naturally. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it think. A boy raised as this one's been is never going to learn the value of a hard day's work.
I don't want to teach him anything, Gramps. I just want the kid to earn his keep while he's with us. Give me some credit. I'm not that much of a romantic.
So you've told us for years.
Not yet. We must say grace. You say grace? To the temple?
That's a good one, kid, but no way. Granny's talking about something nobler than a temple prayer, though if I had my druthers, there'd be no prayer of any kind on this ship.
Sunda.
Look, I'm not trying to start another argument. I'm just saying this constant need for prayer is what got the human race into such a bind to begin with. Institutions like the temple have been taking advantage of it from day one.
Fern isn't here.
I told her to come.
Don't expect too much of a priestess. You gotta remember, kid, she's had a lifetime's worth of training just to prevent her from becoming a heathen like us.
If you're here, please come out.
Think only about Nessa from now on!
Believe me, I'm trying to. Why is this getting me so bent out of shape? Hi there. Sorry, I really wasn't trying to spy on you or anything.
I was told these clothes were for anyone, so I came to pick something up.
You had a chance to meet the busybodies that do all the washing up here?
Do I look strange?
No, you look great. Seen her for a while.
Typical.
You mean she does this kind of thing all the time?
Well, only when she's jealous.
Wait, what?
Like it or not, she's become very attached to you.
Well, attached to the idea of messing with my head, maybe. I don't know about jealous. I mean, surely she's not. You really think that?
You're rather fond of those boxers, aren't you?
No, At first, I guess I just kind of assumed that Nessa was your doppel. But I hate to ask. But did you take the amulet she was in without, permission? Because that would explain why everyone's after you. I mean, not that any of this is my business. But if you wanted to talk about this stuff, for example, why that creep called you a beloved maiden? I'm sorry, I shouldn't pry so much. It's just all these things are in my head now. Just answer me one thing, okay? Do you dislike Nissa as much as it seems?
If I do, it's a function of how I'm meant to act.
What does that even mean? Fine, leave me in the dark, why don't you?
Does it not seem to be getting rather hot?
You're just now noticing it's been hot.
What the hell's going on? The place is heating up like a stove.
It's a systems malfunction. Trying to pin it down.
You mean you don't know which system's on the blink? Tell me you can fix this, Gramps.
I'm working on it. Keep your shirt on. It's no big deal. At least it'll keep us on our toes.
What's with this heat? Someone forget to clean a vent?
Looks like we're keeping cool the old-fashioned way.
I don't like this. The two of you hanging together can't be a promising sign. Is he up to his old tricks?
Man, you really don't have an off switch.
Well, no wonder the ship is starting to feel like an oven.
Don't turn this into a joke. You'll only encourage him.
Sorry, everybody. These clothes are coming off.
Nobody wants to see that coat rack you call a body. Hey, whoa!
Something wrong?
What's going on with the heat?
Hey, mind your own business, kid.
Come on. Maybe there's some way I can
Get
help.
the hell out of here. We don't have time to babysit you too, kid.
Checkup commencing. Please sit at the proper angle with your genitals exposed.
Mind your own business. That's some impressive patchwork. It's amazing what you can do with balloon shrapnel. I may have a newfound respect for this crew. This might be the best piece of stitched-together technology I've seen.
I hate to admit it, but this thing might be a little out of my league.
It's got to be a glitch in the pre-fractal components. Don't you think?
I don't believe it. How many old OSs did they hash together to build this thing? I mean, some of this stuff predates Fractal by generations. Even if I can't hack it, finding the issues can be a whole other thing.
Funny this is what we're reduced to, huh? User manuals. Might as well study warranties. Still, ancient texts do get the blood up, don't they?
Sure.
Not even a 26th century patch works? All right, then. What the heck?
The hell is that beeping noise? And why is it rolling?
Hey, listen.
Get off this channel, you brat.
Hang on, let him talk.
You're hearing that noise, right? I think it's gotta be Nessa.
Nessa?
It may just be shooting in the dark here, but I saw a similar sine wave when I first let her out.
That doesn't fly, kid. The blip showed up when we probed one of the older OSs. No way a doppel would be compatible with a system dating that far back.
Yeah, I know. Sounds crazy, but still.
So then what you're telling me is that Nessa's wreaking havoc on our ship, is that right?
Probably.
Just what we need. A rogue program pitching a fit. What's going on?
For some reason, the autopilots decided to go for a coffee break. We're in light storms.
Steer the hell around it!
I'm trying. The controls aren't responding with the dam.
Kid, you've got to call Nessa out.
What? But she's kind of upset with me right now.
Oh, great. She's upset. What did you do to her now?
Nothing.
That's what seeing two girls at once gets you. Look, kid, whatever she's mad at you for, trust me, find a way to make her feel real special real quick or this clunker's toast.
Fine egg on my forehead. Somebody please open a window.
Yeah, and put out a lightning rod while we're at it.
Look at the bright side. This is an excellent way to shed those unwanted extra pounds.
This is an endurance test from the higher-ups, and I am jumping the ship.
Don't worry, people. We know what the problem is. The trick is finding Nessa and persuading her to come out of her hiding place before things get any worse than they are.
Are you insane? What's Nessa got to do with this?
Let's just say the longer she hides out, the more the rest of us are going to feel the heat.
Good enough for me. It'll cool things off. I'm up for a little hunt.
How do we find a double that doesn't intend to be found?
I'll track her at a console and fill everybody in. But if I know Nessa at all, the best way to coax her out of wherever she is will be to make her think we're all having a lot more fun out here.
Perfect! My boy, I can whip up something in the kitchen to lure the stubbornest child.
It'd be great if she could actually eat food. Wait a minute. Once she had me explain the taste of something by doing this crazy dance form.
I believe we can manage something like that.
For your lentil soup, perhaps a little something
Oh, come
like
on.
this.
Surely it's got a much livelier flavor than that.
Take a lesson from the master, ladies!
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't this work?
What a way to go!
Taking advantage of the having your little friend cause, you pervert! Nessa's never seen this game before. What a good way to keep nice and warm.
Yeah, it'd be great if it didn't already feel like it's cold in here.
Hey, there she is!
She's in storage now. Wait. She's moved to the kitchen. She's moving down shaft C3.
Nessa! Come out wherever you are! Please!
My darling little girl. You can run, but you can't hide.
There she is!
Together, just as I thought. But Nessa is our first priority.
No, she's gone. How long is she going to keep us all hunting for her like this? It's It's been hours.
Please, sweetheart, this is foolishness.
I'll have you know you're still our prisoner. Got no right to lock us out of our own home.
Prisoner. Friend.
Open the stupid door!
For your own good.
I know you can hear me in there, girl.
Friend! It's no use. The systems have all the hatches on automatic lockdown. What are you even doing in there?
It's all my fault. Nessa won't come out because of me. I know it.
No, you don't. Come on, it's Nessa. For all we know, something shiny caught her attention. She probably doesn't even remember why she's hiding in the first place. She's just having fun with us. That's all this is, believe me.
This is why I didn't want you to bring her out of the amulet.
Friend, please.
Seeing her is too painful. I didn't wish to endure it.
What are you talking about?
As far as the temple's concerned, Nessa is infinitely more important than I am. I wanted to take her away from them so we could put an end to this whole thing.
Put an end to what? I don't understand you.
For us, putting a stop to this endless repetition is the only way that we...
No, whatever you're talking about, there's gotta be a better way. If you just turn your back on whatever it is, things can't get better. Think about it. Nessa would never let you talk this way if she could hear you. She's having too much fun to end it all. We could all learn a lesson from that. I mean, hey, that childlike enthusiasm is kind of infectious if you just let it work its magic on you. Take me, for example. I'd have never thought this whole mess was anything but a drag if I hadn't stopped to see it through her eyes. But now I'm actually having fun. Nessa's an unfettered soul. If we'd all just take a page from her book, we'd be the same way.
How dare you? You don't have the first clue what you're talking about. Don't presume to tell me what it feels like to be unfettered.
Then tell me what I'm supposed to say. Explain the situation. I just want to help you.
No. I won't let you.
Wait, Fred. Don't do this. I'm begging you. Fred! Fred!
Friend? Are you looking for a good hiding place?
Nessa.
Oh no, don't be sad. Nessa doesn't like to see you cry. Nessa doesn't understand why people cry.
It's fine. Just hiding like you.
You like to hide?
I like to be found.
You've been found. Who found you?
You did. Which means Nessa did good.
Really? So you want Nessa to find you? It's okay if Nessa plays hide and seek with you?
I don't see why not if you'd like to.
You heard, Granny. Let's cook.
Not to be a naysayer, but come on. Temple's bound to have extended its hello?
I don't like this one bit.
Huh?
If we're out of range, then why is it we can still see that doppel girl?
Wow. No offense, but that is painful to watch. Here, just let me get the rest.
I can do this. See, look. I'm peeling it so that the skin will come off in a single piece.
Of all the dunderhead things to get particular about. Good grief. Hey, out there! You can't get wet! Dang it, Sunko! I didn't tell you playing with Nessa. Get up here and help us! Come on, friend, swim! Let's go! This is not good.
Huh? That friend is a bold one, isn't she?
You have no prim and proper, but you sure screamed out at the drop of a hat! If I know Flame by now, I bet his radar is going nuts. I'm surprised the perv's not here already.
Guys, Sunda wants you...
Where's the Pippi Tom? Claim is a pervert!
No, I didn't know you guys were... He's got a camera!
He's taking pictures!
Hold on!
Plane!
Wait, I just wanna... A genuine antique digital camera that actually works! That's awesome!
Your kind have to look out for each other, is that it? Is there anything you pervs won't let each other get away with?
It's one thing to have it. Getting it to work.
Are you still thinking about the camera guy? Oh, wow. Where are they going?
I don't know.
They go wherever the wind carries them. We call them out-of-range refugees.
They look pretty lost.
Yeah, it's sad. When the balloons crashed and burned, the radio frequencies fell off out this way and left these people without access. You're looking at souls who've grown so dependent on Fractale they don't know any other way to live. The choice open to them is to pick up and seek out another hot zone. The system failed them, left them dry. They've been more or less condemned to live life as a nomadic tribe. I get pissed off just thinking about it.
Oh, man.
Nessa?
Let go! There's not a damn thing in here for you. This is mine!
Don't give us that line, old man. We're not stupid. You're hiding food in there.
We're better off leaving it be. Fights like these break out all the time between these types. They're animals. Every last one of them.
Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
No! Put it down!
Who the hell are you?
Stop! You'll break something more valuable than food!
Have you lost your mind? This is not a scuffle you want to get in the middle of. Trust me on this.
Everybody freeze!
Who are you?
That hurt? But this pain is such a petty, superficial thing. Not really the core of your problem, I would guess.
Hey, let go of me!
I bet it's nothing compared to what your heart feels. Shattering under the weight of betrayal, knowing Fractale abandoned all of you. Stop it, Diaz. Well, look at that. Sunda. Feels like I haven't seen you in forever. Wish I could say I felt the same way. Still up to no good.
You two know each other?
Everyone's attention, if you please. We are from the Alabaster Clan, a proud part of the movement known as Lost Millennium. Our mission is to aid those whom Fractale left behind, poor souls searching for a signal. One sector to the east lies a village reduced to ruins by Fractale's treachery, now our outpost. If you will follow me there, you'll have food and a warm bed to sleep in. Don't be afraid. We bear you no ill will.
Well, that was kind of weird.
Where's he going? No loyalty among perverts, huh? You'd think he'd at least say thank you. Where are you going?
Where the heck could he have gotten to? You're kidding me! An antenna?
You following me?
It's not what you think. Your hobbies are fine with me. I don't care who you photograph. I mean, sure, it's kind of strange when you try to be all sneaky, but Friend does kind of take her clothes off a lot, and you couldn't have known that about her.
Answer me this then, kid. Why'd you come all this way?
Because you seem like a neat guy to strike up a friendship with. Look at all this stuff. You've got to be kidding. Whoa. Vacuum tubes. I've never seen any up close like this before. This place is like a friggin' museum.
Got a thing for antiques, do you?
Yeah.
The hell for. They're just garbage from another age. Flotsam and jetsam.
I guess you're right. I don't know why. Dad kept an old projector in the house. Maybe that's what started it. I couldn't really tell you why my folks had one lying around, but the damage was done. Their doppels consider it junk. They're always on my back to throw it out because they think it clutters the place up. Oh, a 21st century cell phone! Those were the days when people appreciated things you could actually hold in your hand. They really knew what they were doing back then. No mere raw data for those folks, huh?
Don't tell me. You're with the LM.
For the record, I'm not with anybody. Certainly not a bunch of half-baked extremists. But, well, I guess if I'm totally honest, I suppose they're not really all that bad.
Somebody's got a lot to learn. There's a new moon tonight, boy. You're just in time. Why don't you come back here after it gets dark? I'll show you something you won't soon forget.
What? That was all we had for tonight?
Of course it was. Should have been here on time if you were so hungry. Part of being a valued member of this group is following the rules. So tough titty.
Oh, wait. Those Alabaster guys said they were distributing food, right? Surely they still have enough left over.
Don't you even think of mooching off the Alabaster gang? I'll throw you out of the Dawn myself.
Aren't you guys all part of the same thing? What have you got against them?
Let's just say not all Lost Millennium factions see eye to eye. Not every revolutionary mind is created equal.
Oh, yeah? Because if you ask me, between Diaz and Sunda, it's pretty clear which of them is a better head on it.
You know, it really is just too bad someone couldn't be bothered to show up for dinner on time. It's a hell of a thing having to keep watch all night on an empty stomach.
Please don't tell. You can't imagine how badly I need to do this.
What's so important you're willing to get into trouble?
Well, This is probably gonna seem a little odd to you, but I kind of made a promise to that guy with the camera.
One pervert to another?
No, believe me. This guy really isn't like that at all. At least, I think.
Wow, this man has certainly piqued your interest. Well, that settles it then. I'm going with you.
Look, we sort of agreed to make this just between us men. I'm sorry, but girls aren't allowed.
I will have you know, mister, that I'm Fryn before I'm a girl. Did this person expressly tell you no friends were allowed on your little excursion?
Well, no, but... fine. What's going on down there?
That must be the Alabaster camp.
Patience, people. No cutting in line. There's more than enough to go around. Everyone will get their share. Vaccinations are now available, my friends. And if you're not aware of the alpha virus the malnourished are susceptible to, all the more reason to protect yourself. Are the vaccinations free? Yes. Done and Monet units are little more than empty numbers to members of the Lost Millennium.
I don't know how to thank you. You truly are a godsend. No one's ever been this good to us.
It's the least we could do.
It's more than enough. One of these days, we're going to repay you for the kindness you've shown.
Please, come in.
Yes, sir.
Right, line up.
Oh, wow. I guess Lost Millennium attracts all types of people, huh? You gotta admit, handing out vaccinations for free is pretty darn impressive.
All the same, I think I prefer the Granite Clan to them.
Hey, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not down on Sunda and the group or anything. I mean, yes, I do think they've got some problems, but deep down they're a good bunch.
You're still implying that Alabaster's better.
Look at it objectively. You saw how well taken care of those refugees were.
What's your problem?
What's your problem?
Can't stand to lose, can you?
No more than you can.
Girl.
You're not mad, are you?
A pleasant evening to you, sir. I'm coming inside. You can't just barge in there. Jeez.
Is this your girlfriend?
Ew, no.
All right, then. I suppose she can join us.
Hey, thanks a lot. Come on, Fred, hurry up.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give her the whole I'm friend before I'm a girl thing. But she could at least still act like a girl. Holy cow! It looks even more incredible up close. The way you must have scrapped this thing together has a lot in common with the Donnet.
Almost there. In just a few seconds, I'll show you something that blows antiquing out of the water. Nights of the new moon, the temple range tests a bunch of the older balloons. Spikes up the base frequency just a fraction. If I tune this baby right, the antenna array picks it up.
I get it. This is how this place looked before the balloon fell and it lost its connectivity.
You got it, son. That's what my work here's about. I'm gonna plug this no man's land back into the grid. Right or wrong, Fractale is how we live now. People can't function without it. And why even try? It's better than wandering around aimlessly in the darkness. God, give me one good reason a place like this doesn't deserve a second chance.
You okay?
Not yet. The best part's still around the corner, believe you me. Come on, girl. Climb down and go to the square. See for yourselves. Trust me. It's amazing.
If you say so.
It's unbelievable.
This is a fractal town.
Hey, what is it you see?
What the hell? I can't see anything.
What is going on? Where the heck did he fall?
Hold on a minute, Clay. It's not what it seems.
What happened? Mr. Diaz.
The connection's restored. What the hell? We haven't finished the procedure on everyone yet.
Mister, what is this? What's going on?
Are you ill at ease? I might have misled you about the vaccination. What we actually did was remove your fractal terminals permanently.
You bold-faced liar!
Where did all that gratitude go? And you swore to repay our kindness. Come now. Redirect that anger. Use it to help us fight against Fractale.
I'm out of here.
That's so.
is someone else's dream. Provided you could find another hot zone, you've been stripped of your terminals for good. Connection is impossible. But don't worry. Lost Millennium will provide for you.
You all right? Please tell me you're all right.
Has it already blinked out?
Mister!
Good as the antenna is, the frequencies it picks up are transient. But you saw it? The square?
Yes, I think. But that's not important now. You need a hospital. Please, mister. The Donna can drop you off somewhere in the range of Fractale. You can get proper medical treatment.
I don't think so.
But you could die.
So? There's no one around anymore to grieve over a cranky old hobbyist like me.
Not true. I'd be really sad to see you go. Back home, I never hang out with real people. All I do is interact with doppels. Hardly anyone shares my hobbies, and those that do, I don't know their faces. So yeah, I'd grieve.
You're very nice. But I couldn't abandon this old place if I wanted to.
Of course you could.
This house and its clutter is an extension of me. My most precious memories are the junk of bygone eras. You said so yourself. This stuff isn't some digital ether. It's real, tangible. A lot of people wouldn't understand it, and I wouldn't really expect them to. But if I'm going to keep searching for Fractale, unless it's from here, there's no point to it for me.
It's all right, I get it.
Tell you what. This should be yours.
Why are you giving this to me?
You'll be okay.
I took that smile at face value. This was, of course, before I had any clue what was really beneath it. I had a few things still to learn about Nessa.
Morning. Pleasant dreams, I hope. Oh, by the way, welcome to Xanadu. Impressed? Yeah?
Who are you?
Oh, someone has a bad memory, considering the night the two of us just spent together.
Please don't tell me you and I...
Mind the edge there, Chan. Wow, you aren't kidding. Your memory really is shot if you've forgotten the mattress and the sheets are the only two solid objects in the room. Everything else about the decor is virtual, right down to the carpet.
There's no way you can be serious. I mean, the processing power it'd take for this much detail.
Believe it. We do things big in Xanadu. This is the only city in existence where Fractale still functions at full capacity.
Full capacity? So this is... And you're...
Megan.
You're,
A doppel. Very observant.
Whoa!
That's the spirit. Now, please relax. We haven't so much as shared a peck on the cheek, loincloth boy.
The name is Klain, and right now I'm kind of confused.
I found you lying unconscious on the edge of town.
Oh, wait. Of course.
Nessa doesn't get it. Why can't we just use the water that's right underneath us?
Because all this is salt water. For drinking, we need to find a source of fresh water.
Seems like a big waste. Nessa doesn't see the difference.
Well, the good news is lakes this size usually have a river feeding into them. Find a river and we've got ourselves fresh water. So keep your eyes peeled. Sound fun?
Aye, aye, Captain. As long as she's with Klain, Nessa has fun doing just about anything. Klain and Bryn are the only two people that make Nessa feel super warm and fuzzy. And Bryn gets all weird when Nessa tries to snuggle with her.
They're lost, I guess.
Snugglies!
Either you're allergic to me or someone back on the ship is telling a good story about you. You okay?
Nessa doesn't feel so good. Nessa's head's all dangly, and she feels kind of dizzy.
We've lost control! Oh god! What's this thing?
No sign of them this way, boss.
Oh well, I guess not finding them's a lot better than finding bits and pieces of them.
I suppose, but where would they have gone? Unless...
Boss,
Beautiful day, don't you agree?
You weren't lying, were you? This place is huge.
Yeah, it's quite the town. First time I laid eyes on it, it was all I could do to pick my jaw up off the ground. Best part is, I never have to rely on a shoddy third-rate double again.
Okay, I get that. But explain to me exactly why I have to dress like this.
Because, silly, if you tool around in a real body here, you stick out. When in Rome, chickadee, fashionistas suffer to look as exquisite as they do. Yeah?
Imagine those refugees coming here. They'd think they'd reached their promised land. Maybe Nessa just went back to the Donna. I mean, she was kind of under the weather and all.
Oh, please, tell me you're not into that. A pumpkin has better taste.
Well, come on, I was just looking at it.
As long as you're oogling, treat those eyes to something beautiful. My own art, for example.
What?
I'm actually a first-rate sculptress. One of my recent efforts had over 20,000 downloads in just under 15 minutes, believe it or not.
Cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know all that much about art, really.
Well, I guess we can't expect much of a kid who doesn't even use a doppel. Such a pity. Xanadu's not meant for people comfortable with their biology. Take my word for it. This city puts unbelievable things at your fingertips, provided, of course, they're virtual. You can experience just about anything. Cultural enrichment, odysseys of self-discovery. Or, for those more physically minded, there's always the amorous brush with discovery of a different sort.
I'm sorry.
Why don't we skip back to my place? I can get drugs. We'll get into whatever trouble your feverish little mind can cook up.
Thanks, I'll pass. Actually, I have a friend. I'm kind of concerned.
Oh?
Yeah, she goes by Nessa. I sort of lost track of her. I really ought to double check and make sure that she's okay. That's her.
Yes, well, I can certainly see where you'd be worried. I know everyone around this valley. If you'd like, I'm happy to ask if anyone's caught sight of your companions.
That'd be extremely helpful.
You're not to pry or anything, but you seem off grid here. You and your neighbors aren't by any chance part of the Lost Millennium, are you?
Oh, nothing so radical as all that, I can assure you. We're humble folk, really, content to live off the bounty of nature, have done for generations. I'll admit we share some ideals in common with the anti-fractal sympathizers, but we're pacifists.
Whoa! Get a load of this place. It's beautiful. Don't you think so, Fred?
Sure, whatever you say.
Are you sure this is the place?
Of course, I know that design anywhere. That room had my colleague's touch all over it. He's a highly sought-after doppel builder, by the way. Known for creating exquisite one-offs, not meant for everyday use.
This thing virtual too?
Hey! Call off your guards, Colin! It's Megan, you lousy chode!
Interesting. Someone I hardly ever see brings me a guest. All apologies. You have no idea how long it's been since a human's come to visit.
I'm looking for a doppel that looks like a little 10-year-old girl. Have you seen her?
Oh, yes. And you are?
So, she's here?
I believe I'm the one asking the questions.
Well, I guess I'm her... Her what?
Leave it. Welcome.
Nessa! Nessa, are you all right? It's me.
Hooray! You came for Nessa.
Just hang in there. You'll be okay. You're on fire. You've got a serious fever.
Wow, she can even transmit a tactile emulation signal to a human host in real time. This one is really something else.
What did you do to my friend? Why is she like this?
Relax, kid. All I did was take her in after finding the poor thing lying unconscious in the street. Chances are she's contracted a virus.
A virus?
Or it's possible she's being hacked. Whatever it is, she's instinctively trying to fend it off before it does serious damage. White blood cells rally to action against a virus in your own body without you having to give them the order. All you're aware of is a fever. Same principle here. Frankly, given her specs, I'm rather surprised it's taking her this much effort to ward off the onslaught of whatever's trying to get a foothold in her system. But she either doesn't know how to deal with this, or she can't.
Nessa's sorry. She thought it'd be a good idea to come into the city to see if she could find someone to help us. But then...
It's okay. Rest.
Have you still not been able to break through?
I'm sorry, sir. The barrier is thick. We are making progress.
Proceed then. We finally have a lead as to her whereabouts. Don't let this slip away.
Sir. Barrett, sir, one of our postings has garnered a response.
Prepare Odin for takeoff at once.
You're not just saying that, right? Hide and go seek and also Red Rover and tag and hopscotch and tug of war?
Hey, get better really quickly and I'll even do another round of Name That Taste via goofy dance moves.
Pinky swear.
Do what?
Stanko taught Nessa how to promise. It's how you're supposed to seal the deal. Give Nessa your pinky finger.
You mean like this?
If you break a pinky swear, you have to swallow 1,000 needles.
That doesn't sound like much fun.
If Clay breaks his promise to Nessa...
They're the ones, right? The runaways the temple is offering a generous reward for.
Figured it out, did you?
But of course. Fortunately, you and I are the only ones so far who have.
I know it's a big favor to ask, but would you mind letting me take the credit for finding them? I'm kind of in bad odor with the higher-ups these days. I need something to restore me to their good graces. Otherwise, I'm on the verge of having to surrender my network privileges.
In your shoes, I'd get the hell out of town. Settle down someplace where you can earn done in lieu of the money you feel entitled to. Live within your means for once.
You know very well I'm working on an installation piece. I'll be damned if it won't earn me the accolades of every art critic, connoisseur, and more importantly, financier on the grid. So come on. Throw Mama a little bone, huh?
Please. You think anyone will take you seriously after the flame war you started over your last installation? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry knows your real-world identity.
If you'd rather not talk about shares, then by all means don't. But it's only fair for you to know I've already contacted the temple. So anyway you slice it, we best keep those two occupied as long as possible.
The temple's after 2 girls, though, not a girl and a boy, last I checked. The reward will be halved as it is.
No need to worry about that.
As far as the net's concerned, for the past 24 hours, the 2 of them might as well have been on Mars.
Discouraging, but not terrible.
Hey, friend. You and Clay. What's the lowdown?
Am I supposed to know what you mean by that?
I didn't mean anything. I'm just curious about, how far the 2 of you have come along in your relationship recently. Don't be so naive. I'm asking if you've done what most people who are dating would have done by now. People who are dating and find each other physically attractive.
Oh, I think I understand.
And?
Colleen and I are friends and nothing more.
You're serious?
Very much so. That kind of relationship isn't something I deserve to be a part of, ever.
What?
Boss, got a sec?
Yeah.
Well, now, did you have some reason for snooping around my atelier?
Oh, sorry.
I'm teasing, my dear. Tell you what, give me your impression of my work and we'll call it even.
It's very interesting.
We wouldn't want it to be a bore.
Oh, it's far from that. It sort of resembles a pulsing earthworm trying to dance a polka.
Such a pity. Yet another plebeian desperately trying to pass herself off as a person of substance.
The only worm in this place is you, bitch! Burrowing in the net as they all do!
Huh? Well, run out of steam, have we? Excellent.
Since we got here.
What?
This village is a front. Practically everyone is a denizen of Xanadu.
Xanadu?
It's a virtual city where Fractal reigns supreme. Filthy rich degenerates go there to indulge in all kinds of perverted stuff.
Wait, you mean these people
are really hedonist billionaires completely hooked on the grid, letting their doubles run wild in a digital paradise? Yep. They're only pretending to lead lives of quiet contemplation.
And according to at least one of these lying dillweeds, Gale was seen carrying a young unconscious boy from the shoreline to his little hideaway last night.
What?
have had what you might call a little revelation while hanging out in this town. For all the amenities here, not being able to touch anything is just plain sad when you get right down to it. Sad and, well, cold. That, and I really don't like what it says about me that I took so long to notice.
Please!
Just where in the hell do you think you're going? Allow me to introduce you to a virus that simply lives for interfering with the body's fractal terminal.
Targeted 2 o'clock, boss.
Nessa did good?
Yeah, I guess so.
What a joy it is to have you restored to us. My child, step closer. Ah, your sweet scent, my daughter. It is such bliss to welcome you back home.
If memory serves, you said I smelled of iniquity.
Yes, but of course all women smell of iniquity. And the aura of their filth is intoxicating.
Aren't you expected to take me to the temple right away?
Yes, the inner sanctum affords me so little free time. Yet who can fault me for wanting to spend a moment alone with my darling?
What about Klain?
Worry not, my dear. The boy's been moved to the treatment room. We don't wish to see your special friend suffer more, I promise. Just how special a friend is he? Have the pair of you already been intimate? You are still qualified to fulfill your role as key, I hope.
What?
We must be sure you realize. I daren't bring you before the Archpriestess. Not before I'm satisfied on that score. If you comport yourself obediently and do as I ask, I promise you the boy's wounds will be seen to in all haste.
You lied to me. You said he was undergoing treatment.
I said only that he was moved to the treatment room. Whether or not he will be treated is up to you.
You vile...
Come, consent to having Daddy confirm the status of your virtue, and he'll live.
Why do you do this? How long must you go on tormenting me?
No! Nessa's going! Nessa's going with you to look for Klain! Give me one good reason! We know where they've taken them! It'll be a cinch!
Think it through. We've got Nessa to worry about now, right? Our first priority is protecting her.
Spoken like a total fraidy cat! What happened to your balls?
They're still intact, as is my ability to think straight. What if we did make a move? Just how much damage you imagine this ragtag group we call a crew could sustain? We can't afford to go into this blind.
Try to calm down, sweetheart. It's too dangerous for you. Let us do the dirty work.
What do you mean she disappeared? I thought you were supposed to be keeping an eye on her.
That's enough. You can quit with the tone. You know as well as we do if she wants to do something, there's nothing we can do to stop her.
Don't tell me she went for Klain by herself.
Nessa!
Try not to move.
Huh. You know, I don't feel all that bad.
It may seem that way now, but you really shouldn't move for 6 hours.
Only 6? You've got to be kidding me. I thought I was on the brink of death and I just need a nap.
You'll live.
Sure seems like it, huh? So who are you? I've seen you before, haven't I? Is Nessa your doppel or something? I mean...
I don't understand your question.
I'm, guessing I don't really have a clue about all of this. Are you the one who fixed me?
Fixed you?
You know, took care of me and stuff.
No, I am not. I'm merely charged with making sure you don't escape.
Oh, well.
An attack.
We've pinpointed a location that bears all the marks of a temple-run facility, but the clock is ticking as we speak. Look, I know, I don't like consolidating forces any more than you. But if we want to start making serious headway, the LM groups have got to stop operating in isolation.
For the record, I don't disagree. As a matter of fact, our battalion has been preparing for this, but I still say it's far too soon to act.
Sure, I mean, why not let the bastards reboot the whole shebang while we sit around on our hands like chumps, right?
What does it matter? I say let the imbeciles attempt to reboot. Whatever they think they've got up their sleeve, they're flying blind. Fractal is doomed either way. Why risk further losses when sitting on our hands we yield the same results?
Must be nice being able to hide your cowardice behind the mask of old age.
What was that?
Huh?
Well, regardless, as things stand now, we simply don't have enough information to launch a successful attack anyway.
Why are you standing up there?
Just stretching.
You were trying to escape.
I'm a terrible liar.
Why, though? It is much better for your body if you try not to exert yourself.
That'd be the common sense thing. Guess I'm just too worried about Friend to want to stay put.
Friend?
Do you know her?
I am her.
Well, you may have the same name and all, but you're not the Friend I mean. No disrespect or anything, but what's in a name? My Friend is special to me.
I believe the girl you're talking about is my sister.
Your sister?
Well, either that or one of the replacements.
But what? Let's get this straight. There could never be a replacement for the Friend I know. Look, you can try and stop me if you want, but I'm gonna find my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend?
Did I say that? That's not exactly what I meant, or that's not what I meant at all. See, we're close and stuff, but we're not to that point yet. I should probably shut up now.
Are we doing this by ourselves, then?
There doesn't seem to be an alternative. Even though with the crap of firepower we've got, it's going to be a suicide mission. Oh, great. What do you want? Forget to pour salt in my wounds?
It isn't like you to be so forthcoming.
And how's that?
Let's just say trying to rally the other factions is out of character for you. I was surprised by the gesture.
Hey, even a spineless yokel like me knows the value of cooperation.
Oh, nice try. But I think we both know you'd only stoop to it if you had information. Information about the key, maybe?
What are you talking about? Don't tell me you buy into the whole key fantasy like the rest of those dinosaurs.
Maybe. I'm along for the ride either way.
What?
Suicide missions are for chumps. You need me. Count us in.
Nessa. Are these, like, your doubles?
No, they are not. They are Friend.
What? Wait, hold on, I must be going crazy. How can you touch her?
There are a whole host of friends. They can make as many as they want.
Hey, she's not a doppel. Don't tell me she's like a clone.
I told you, her name is Friend.
What's the point in doing this?
We're the key.
What?
I don't really know what it means. It's just a word they use to describe us every now and again.
You mean the temptress you got all lovey-dovey with? She's the key to the world, Friend. A priestess of the temple with a very harsh fate.
I'm guessing it's not too far of a stretch to assume all those rumors about the key to Fractal's fate are about you, yes?
What on earth does that even mean?
Do you see the Friend you were looking for? There are more of them.
Please tell me you're joking.
They're in a different room.
This isn't real.
I know where it is.
No. I don't think the Friend I'm looking for is here. She's probably... Sorry, you okay? You're bleeding. Oh man, I didn't mean to scuff you up. Might be a good thing you have this in the long run, though. It'll help me pick you out of the lineup.
Why would you?
Well,
you like me?
Sure thing. I mean, I don't see why not. Look, we better get back before we get into trouble.
Take the passage opposite the hall we used coming down.
Hardly anyone goes that way. Find your friend before it's too late.
Don't be frightened. We're simply conducting ourselves as we must. Swallow your pride and sit. You've nothing to worry about. Daddy is overseeing this. We don't have all day.
You know it back way.
Why wouldn't I? I was brought up here.
I got you. So that guy I saw, he's...
Does it really matter?
Well, I mean, he called himself Daddy.
He raised me as he was told to. We're not related. I'm supposed to be the...
Key. Everywhere I go, that word's come up. Some people have used it to describe Nessa. Someone here used it to describe you. You tell me what's going on? Which of them's right? Or are they both wrong?
Why do you think I was trying to run away from all of this to begin with? For as long as I can remember, they've called me that. I couldn't stand the pressure. I no longer knew where the key ended and I began. So I left. I sneaked out and took Nessa with me. And then I crossed paths with you.
So now what? Which way are we supposed to go?
I think we might be lost. No, I've led us the wrong way. We need to double back.
Hold on a sec. I know what these are. The other friend told me. Why are there so many of them?
They're me, you know. Except these versions have all been labeled superfluous. They're still me, though. From my childhood. Each of them an incarnation of my younger self.
No. Nessa didn't like it when Fran cried. She doesn't like it.
Nessa? She's locked into the grid now. Only way she knows how to cope. I'm so sorry, friend. Of course you ran. It can't be. No. It's the girl who tried to help me.
What are you doing? Stop it, Clayton. It's madness.
The only reason she's in here is because she tried to help me rescue you. I can't let this happen. Not to her.
There's no point trying to save her, even if you could. Every last one of us is as replaceable as a piece of hardware. What about all the others? If you can't save all of them, why save any?
You all think like that, don't you? Why are you buying into the bullshit these people tell you about yourselves? Who the hell cares how many friends there are in the world? This isn't just a dim number. She's someone who tried to help me. And who's to say the friends in this room can't all be that for someone? They deserve the chance to carve out a niche for themselves. Maybe they'll cross paths with someone who'll be better for it.
Claim you.
Damn it, I'm gonna save her!
Dear, oh dear. The rat runs about so soon after we dress his wounds. Sadly, this is the problem with advanced medicine such as ours. Leave his side at once and come back to where you belong, my dear. Before it's too late. Your cavorting is at an end. come to rescue one of their own. You must delight in seeing me backed into a corner, my boy.
Don't touch her!
Diaz! Wait till I give you the order! Oh, but I'm afraid we've lost the element of surprise. They're rallying their guards as I speak. Our hand is forced. What?
Stumbled in darkness. I alone have refined the key to Fractale salvation. Yet a band of ruffians thinks nothing of spitting in my face.
Oh, my dear, yes, I have you. 152589. I knew it would be you.
If sapping a life and love of countless girls is the measure of our success, then well have we reaped the reward of our cruelty. How fragile this world is.
Is that bitterness I hear? Do you think yourself a displaced god? Number 141923.
You know full well that I do not consider myself God. She and she alone can answer that need.
I wonder what's to become of you in all this. It breaks my heart to think what your next move must be.
We are but identical links in an endless chain. Fractal decrees that we shall not be whole in and of ourselves, but strong only in pieces. One only together. It is through submission to this pitiless scheme that happiness for all is ensured. I know this in my heart of hearts. As Archpriestess, I accept what becomes of me. What must be done. This world teeters perilously on the brink of annihilation. Mutiny prunes the tree from which we feast would see it rotted, its fruit left to wither in the unforgiving dust. Our way of life will end, cut to tinder by the axe-wielding children of the lost millennium. Though their blades be dull and few, the sheer persistence of their blows has taken a disastrous toll upon this temple. And our mercy has reached its limit. It is not only us, but the world which demands their death.
You guys are from that ship docked on the outskirts of the town, aren't you?
Boss, wait!
Grant their souls everlasting peace. Let them rejoin Fractal as symbols of penance.
Our fever shows no sign of breaking.
What about you, friend? How are you feeling right now?
I'm all right.
Look, you say that, but I know better. What you need is rest, especially after what you've...
I don't disagree, but I'll need your help to fall asleep. Last thing I want to do is dream. So...
You want me to stay with you?
Nessa wants to hold hands with Clayton and Fryn.
Welcome back, Ness.
And it's not a mistake?
I wish, but no. It's an all-out Imperial ordinance from the Archpriestess. First of its kind in 300 years.
We were just in town and...
What's Rhyme saying? You leaving us to deal with this alone?
Her temperature's starting to level off, I think.
That feels nice. Nessa likes how cold Fryn's hands are.
Forced circulation has its use.
You know, I'd swear you were sisters seeing you like this. Oh, yeah, right. Silly me. I guess you two are kind of sisters. Or, you know, whatever the name for it is. I'll shut up now.
So, would you like to know about Nessa and me?
It'd be nice to have some idea about what's going on.
I really shouldn't have left you in the dark as long as I have. It's not easy to explain, but basically Nessa is like the ephemeral spirit of a god. A long time ago, in a whole other life before Fractal, her soul was the first to inhabit this body.
What does that mean?
Nessa is the original mind. I am just one of many bodies prepared for her to inhabit. The temple believes that when Nessa, the soul, merges with me, the body, the key to Fractal's salvation will manifest itself. The system's been breaking down for ages, and the key remains the only hope of staving off what would otherwise be inevitable, the triumph of entropy over order.
Okay, but what does it mean for the two of you to merge? That's sort of ambiguous.
I don't really know. But when we do merge, my guess is, well, it will be the end of what we are now.
What does that mean, the way you are now? Are you saying that if you do this merging thing, you'll die?
I mean,
What is it?
Nessa saw herself. Nessa disappeared completely. She doesn't want to die. Nessa wants to be Nessa. Disappearing is forever, and there's only darkness and loneliness and no more friends.
Hey, it's not gonna happen.
Don't let Nessa disappear. Say she gets to go on being Nessa. You have to promise, Clayne.
It's going to be okay, I promise. Not a damn thing is gonna change. You're gonna go right on being what you are. Your smile won't fade. Your laughter's not gonna stop. Nessa is going to be Nessa. Fryn is going to be Fryn. And that's how it'll always be, from now on. I have no problem feeling you right now. You can still feel me like you always have, right?
Nessa feels you.
I'm not gonna lie, the whole thing's still a big mystery to me, but you know what? I, for one, am not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Boss!
What is it? What's going on?
The townspeople have gathered outside the ship with torches.
I'm sorry, but we need your people to leave. Does the damn temple intimidate you that badly? They cut off our donate supply if they found out we were harboring you lot. Nothing to be done against a threat like that. What would you do in our shoes?
This just proves how badly you need to break free of them. They've been controlling every aspect of your lives since the day that you were born. How much longer are you willing to suffer before you refuse to be a puppet anymore?
You have us die?
That's not what we're saying. We just want you to act like genuine human beings for once in your life.
You're murderers! You destroyed one of their medical facilities without a thought!
Is that true?
That's not how...
It's true.
Butchers! You sons of bitches don't give a damn who you have to kill to bring the system down, do you?
The end of us all.
Your bullshit somewhere else.
At the end of the day, they're only human, you know. At least they own their fear. That's always the first step toward genuine courage.
I don't understand. Why is the temple suddenly changing its tune about you guys?
Because they're in dire straits. They need us to hand you over. They're upping the ante. They know we'd never turn you guys in, because the last thing we want is for Fractal to be saved. The temple wants to reboot the system while they still can, and they know we'd be damned before we see that happen. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Too much sense.
Look, don't overthink things, kiddo. What's going on isn't your fault. It's just that...
What?
What is it?
They've made their move. The village has been hit. The temple set it on fire.
Very diorite, gravite, and granite all burned to the ground tonight. 4 villages destroyed by the temple because of us.
I'm told no one in Greywood survived. They took the brunt of it, and none of us was there to protect them.
You see, that's why I was so dead set against being the aggressor in all this.
Duly noted, but it's meaningless to assign blame at this point. We must defend our families.
I agree. We'll separate and protect our home.
I'm sorry our first Quorum meeting in 50 years has to end on this note. If there are no objections, I move we adjourn.
Objection. How can none of you see that the temple's resorting to these measures because the position we're in puts them between a rock and a hard place? There's no more opportune moment to strike than now.
Yes, please.
I agree with him. I say we go at them. We can't just knuckle under to tactics like this.
Well, I dare say destroying the lab has given someone a great deal of clout in a short amount of time. Suppose we consider your rallying cry ideas. What exactly do we have to strike them with?
Sunda just so happens to have the key to rebooting Fractal as a guest on board the Donna. Isn't that right?
Is this true?
Are you holding out on us, Granite?
And what of it if I am?
You do understand. The temple has essentially let its race on Tetra slip right through its greasy fingers. Without the key, they're a husk of what they once were. Their position is as weak as it's ever been, making this the perfect moment for our clans to swoop in and realize Lost Millennium's 1,000-year-old ambition.
Boss! The Quorum meeting's done.
So what did they decide?
To attack. The clans have agreed to consolidate their military power and storm the temple before any further actions against us can be taken.
Yes! Let's drop all the ammunition we have! It's gonna be a showdown!
Can I talk to you?
What is it?
Okay, so correct me here if I'm wrong, but the LM's trying to change things, right?
It is.
Change them how?
You asking me what kind of world we'll have when it's all over with? Tell me, kid, what kind would you like?
I don't know. I definitely think that what the temple's been doing is wrong. I think it's time for me to get in this fight. I can't just keep standing around on the sidelines.
How much good do you think you'd be in a fight?
Gee, thanks.
If you want to be treated like a soldier, then I'll give you orders. Stay here in the village and promise me that you'll protect Fryn and Nessa with everything you've got. They have to stay here at any rate. We can't risk the temple getting them back or shooting them down with the rest of us, can we? And besides, I appreciate the sentiment, but this is Lost Millennium's fight, not yours. Trust me, you're a good kid. Hell, I'd even go so far as to call you friend. Everyone on board would, but you're not one of us. Still, there actually is one thing that only you could do to help the effort.
Yeah? Everybody move just a little closer in, okay? I want to make sure I get all of you in the shot. Nessa, you ready? Looking good.
Don't take it yet!
There he is. Way to be on time, Doofus.
Hey, I had to get this.
That's very sweet of you. But latecomers have to move to the back of the line.
What did I tell you about your old pal? She's a ball buster. Same as always.
Damn right I am.
All right, that's everyone. Let's snap this puppy.
Everybody stay like you are.
I don't want Daddy to be killed. Be sure to leave the picture with Granny Elder and the others, okay?
Wait, you're going along for the fight?
Like Sunda's got a chance in hell of stopping me.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
By the way, I kind of wanted to tell you something.
Oh, yeah?
You see...
Look, if you gotta use the bathroom or something, you can tell me later.
Do you always have to be a perv?
What the hell did I do to deserve that?
You shut up! You quit so we get back on the front line. Clean up your act. So help me, Clayton. I will make you ruin the day you hit puberty.
Clean up my act. You're the one angry.
How can they laugh and carry on like that before a battle? Aren't they terrified?
Well, naturally, they're terrified. All the more reason to cut up.
I think I'm too afraid of death for that, aren't you?
Hey now, there are things out there a lot more frightening than death, like not being able to protect your loved ones.
True.
That's why Clayton's gonna look after you while we're gone. We want you both to feel safe.
I do feel safe. I know Clay will do everything he can to protect me from harm, and I'm grateful to him for that.
All right, now, all hands on deck! Keep running the engines at half power. Come on, it's at a snail's pace. It's time to bring this fight to them.
Sorts of people in this world. Those who swear by Fractal, those who hate it, some who do anything to see it continue on, some who do anything to see it falter, and people like me who can't make up their minds. But when it comes down to it, the world doesn't care about Fractal, it just keeps moving forward on its own.
Claim? If the Daystar could grant your wish, what would it be?
Oh, that's an easy one. To be by the side of the people I love forever. Not bad, huh?
And it's totally gonna happen, because Clay gets to stay by Nessa and Friend's side for his whole entire life. And everyone will live happily ever after, won't they?
You bet they will.
Absolutely. Dear Clay, I wish I could tell you why I left that first night, but I guess the truth is, however hard I look at it, I really don't understand why myself. I stood by my decision then, though. And I still do. You have to understand that Nessa was me when I was beautiful and free. I haven't been that person in a long time, but with you, she stands a chance. So I'm leaving. If anyone can begin to convince Archpriestess Morin or my father, it would surely be me. Because I'm half of the key. I'm sorry for leaving without saying anything. But since this all started because I left the temple, I believe I have to go back and end it. It was you, Clay, who made me feel that I could, that I wanted to. You, Nessa, and everyone else. I'm grateful to you all. Thank you. With love, Friend.
Didn't we just talk about the three of us staying together? How could you go off and do a thing like this without talking to us? You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm done trying to get my head around that woman. After all we've been through together, she's just as self-centered and arrogant as she was the first time we met.
So then, what are you gonna do?
Oh, you want to know what I'm gonna do about this? Not a damn thing. To hell with her.
You promised! 1,000 needles, remember? Nessa's decided she really likes Bryn. Sure, she was mean and scary at first, but it turns out Bryn is pretty nice after all. More than nice, in fact. And Nessa knows that Clayne really likes her, too.
Well, look, it's not that...
Come on, Clayne likes being happy just as much as anyone. So, admit you like her. Nessa knows you do.
I like Fred. Is that what you want to hear? You happy? Damn it, she really owes me for this one. Fred, you're an idiot!
I've been waiting for you, my dear. A beloved maiden true to her title. This will be a private discussion, Barrett.
But I...
Remove yourself.
Surely she doesn't think all this can be solved with talk.
How pretty naive can she possibly be? I knew her head was a rat's nest of stupid, but this takes the cake.
Naive or not, she's doing it for us. She's only there to try and convince the temple not to massacre the whole battalion.
They're coming at us from the sea! Enough of this BS! Turn us around now!
Come on. Can you not see what's right in front of you? This is crazy. Wake up. You can't just...
Come on, man. On your feet.
Hell with this. I knew you were murderers. Cowards?
Clayne.
You were my first real friends. The closest thing Prince ever had to a family. Think about it. She's done what she's done to save you. She believes in you guys. We can't just let her face the temple herself. If you're intent on turning around, then I want off.
So the hen has gone home to roost, has she? I'm a shameless eavesdropper. You'll have to forgive me.
DS.
If your hothead there wants to help us for a bigger case, then in the interest of building peace between us and the temple, I'm happy to act as liaison.
Yeah, right. You've been chomping at the bit to wipe them out.
I have, but that's hard to stop once you've begun, so this may be our only chance to avoid more bloodshed.
Don't you think? And besides, when else would we make our case?
Thank you, sir.
Come on. What are you really playing at here, DS?
At love. The one thing that can save us all. Is that not the unifying factor behind every sacrifice we've made?
Nessa's going. Like hell. We can't just let the temple have both halves of the key. Tell her.
She's right. We talked about this. You need to stay. The whole world could be in jeopardy if they get you. Bryn wouldn't want that to happen, and you know it. Please, Nessa. For her.
All right, then. Get one of the smaller ships ready. I'm not letting Clayne go in there by himself.
Seriously?
Don't get me wrong. I know you're up to something, but we share a mutual interest, so I'm going.
Whatever gets you there.
Fred.
Step closer to me. I wish to see your face better.
This fighting is pointless. I want you to call off your attack on the Lost Millennium. Immediately.
Oh, friend. Despite what you may think, I have wished harm upon no one through all this. Naive, perhaps, and obviously not a sentiment shared by you. But I'm willing to forgive your youthful selfishness. Because you've come here to atone, haven't you, dear? To comport yourself as a beloved maiden should. To restore order, and bestow upon the world the hope it needs.
I will embrace my life here at the temple, and quietly accept my fate. But I ask you to release Nessa of her duties. She's a child.
Out of the question, I fear. You know that Fractal cannot be salvaged from its decayed state unless you both play an equal part in this.
Spare her, or I will not spare myself.
You wouldn't.
I swear to you I would. I am no longer the girl this temple raised. I know what I'm capable of. And what I am prepared to protect at any cost.
You've no idea what you're capable of. Unless you and Nessa fulfill your roles as Fractal's key, what you're trying to protect will perish, even if the fighting is stopped. A world without Fractal is a world in which human beings cannot survive. These friends you love are not exceptions to this rule, however they might wish to be.
Stay sharp! Keep them off our engines with every bullet you got if you have to.
Yes, sir.
Ah, look who's found some balls all of a sudden. You've changed quite a bit, my friend.
I don't know that I've changed all that much, really. I'm just tired of standing around like a kid. I want to do something meaningful.
Smoking like a true LMer, Clay. If more people embraced that idea, the system would have bowed down to the resistance years ago.
I'm not all that interested in overthrowing the system. Speaking of change, though, I gotta admit, Suna, I'm surprised you agreed to come.
I'm the one who ordered you to protect Fred and Nessa. It's my responsibility to see this through. Hey, keep those eyes on the engine. There it is! The temple!
Be honest. You're perfectly aware of how things stand. Without Fractal, people can no longer even form a cogent thought. If you were to strip them of it...
No, that's the very reason we have to let it die. People need to be able to stand as people.
And how would they do that? Were night to fall on the system, humanity would be condemned to drift.
So what? Perhaps cast adrift they'll learn how to help one another.
You really believe that? Begging and scraping will eclipse any regard for their fellows. People have grown too monstrously entitled to truly stand as people. They can but wait, gazing intently up at the sky. Deprive humanity of that single comfort, and all that is left of them is wretchedness and despair.
But can't we?
Data analysis complete. The intruders are confirmed to be pseudogranite and claytogranite.
No, Clay, don't! This is foolishness! You know that if you come to the temple...
Then Nessa won't be far behind, is that it? My dear, if you hadn't decided to act as a part of the key, what were your intentions in returning?
I wanted the fighting to stop.
You do realize that it was I who gave the orders to purge all members of the Lost Millennium, do you not? What made you presume that the matter was open to debate?
I believed you could be swayed, and still do.
With what brazen confidence you speak.
You are my mother and my sister together. Deep down, I know the feelings that have haunted me haunt you too. We share a bond. A strong one. You and I are both incarnations of the same little girl.
This way! Coming, Fred. Just hold on.
You were once Fred yourself, sister. I know this. And even if Fractal is renewed successfully, in another handful of centuries, this whole sordid drama will have to play itself out again and again. The system's dirty secret is that a key must be created repeatedly in order to maintain the system as a whole. Every time it begins to disintegrate, legions of us must be made anew, each of us subjected to untold tortures to test our suitability, defiled.
Humiliated.
I can stand it no longer. The same horrible things done to us over and over and over again. I'm done with it. I will not allow any more of us to die. Help me. Help us all.
Come here, my sister.
Sister,
Please.
I knew you would understand.
How dare you condescend to me? We are not of the same cloth. You are the world's beloved maiden. And I, a girl rejected by the world out of sheer spite.
We've got intruders in the J block. Do not get your asses over there immediately. Back up, yes, sir. We'll report back as soon as possible. We need more ammunition.
Get with the program, Takumi!
I'm on it, I'm on it.
What? Are you people even listening to me? Nessa suddenly disappeared again. Nessa? Will you be sad? Dumbass? How is that a question? Of course I would. What would I do without you, Nessa? We can play hide and seek later, okay? Hide and seek?
Boss, a transmission from the Tristan coming through.
The Tristan's about to make a play for the temple's front door, requesting backup from the Dante.
Wait, you're just gonna storm it?
In about 5 minutes, the hangar door will be wide open, and we're gonna try our luck.
How do you know that?
Henry, let's go. Nessa, honey, we've been through this. If we let you go in there... Nessa doesn't care! Nessa's going with it, you like it or not!
Hey!
Hold on! Do you really want to see Klein so badly? Nessa doesn't like breaking promises. Klein, Nessa, and Friend said that we'd all be together forever and ever. It was a promise, and Nessa's going to keep it.
Boss,
All right, then. We'll join Alabaster. learned anything. We're not gonna let you waltz in there by yourself. Henry.
You doted on and fawned over, and I cast aside like so much garbage. Be grateful someone loves you enough to spare the thought of losing you to the system. I hate you with every fiber of my being. You have all I ever wanted, and I envy you that more than I could say. But you will see, my faith is stronger than your love.
Please, sister.
I will renew Fractale infinitely if need be. People will continue to walk through life not knowing what it is to be alive. They will never know freedom, nor anything but the shadow of love. They will never be human. Like me. Exactly like me. That is what the world deserves. Thus I mollify my heart by robbing mankind of its humanity.
Excuse me, Archpriestess.
Brace yourself, kid. Look sharp. Are you kidding me?
The lost millennium hacked into our security protocols and have wrenched all the bay doors wide open. Stop right there, friend! I forbid you to leave! I understand your despair. You have suffered as much as I, my sister. It is for your sake as well as mine that I do this. Archpriestess? For my sake. Who am I? Why should I care? She is the world's beloved maiden.
Oh, no.
Let him go or I'll kill him! I'm letting you!
Damn it to hell, you're supposed to be on the ship! Looks like we got here just in time. Diaz?
Wait, that's...
This whole time you've had a goddamn fractal terminal?
You freaking hypocrite! After tricking the refugees out of theirs, what the hell?
There's no other option. The world's still up to its eyeballs in Fractal. It's basic strategy for beating the system. Go home if you can't fight fire with fire. You son of a bitch. Henry! What the hell? You listen to this guy so much you don't follow orders anymore?
This isn't Henry's fault. Nessa just wanted to keep her promise to her friends. Klein told Nessa and Fran we'd be together forever. And that means sticking by each other's side through thick and thin no matter what happens, right?
But you've got to understand.
I recommend you continue the search for Fran. God knows where she could be right now. Nessa, do you have the ability to pinpoint her location in the temple?
Yep.
Yeah, but...
Chances are she's desperately searching for the two of you.
Let's go.
The vital half of the key is on the move as I speak. Put a tail on her. She's going to lead you to the other half. When you find her, kill her. Carry on breaking down the temple's defenses. You bastard! Oh, I'm sorry. You know a better way to keep them from rebooting the system right under our noses? We want the temple's morale at an all-time low. That's when we strike.
Suda, what are you doing?
Nice.
Suda, wait up!
This is starting to feel less and less substantial. This isn't good.
I look up to the sky.
Why are you...
And utter my wish.
What's that song? Wait a minute. Fran and Nessa both sang a version of this song when I first met them. I'm pretty sure it's a tune from the era when Fractal was first conceived. That makes sense. Nessa.
Who are you people?
We've located one half of the key.
What do you want? Run away, friend. While you can. What's going on? Just go now. Clayne? Nessa? Fred! No, I can't hear you. Wait, now I can hear you. Perfectly clear. Nessa's acting as a connection between the two of us. Listen, both of you. You need to know.
Look, whatever it is, I don't care. Let's just leave. That little house is waiting for us. Let's forget all this crap. We can be happy together. I know it. The three of us. Forever.
Come, Archpriestess. We've prepared Odin. You must leave here at once.
Not before the creation ceremony is held. Open the stairway to Heaven's summit immediately.
But ma'am...
Gotta get them out of here. Watch your back. I need both of you to backtrack and find a route around these other bitches. We gotta find our comrade before Thea does. Got it? Yes, sir. Why the hell haven't you found the sanctuary yet? What happened to the reinforcements I asked for? What do you mean they're not responding? I refuse to accept that. You find those cowards. You see, this friend had much the same, shall we say, experience as the original. This is why her biorhythms fit so perfectly into the mold.
Wait, what kind of experience?
It's complex, but love was the essential feature.
Love? I don't get it, Friend. What does he mean by that?
I mean that despite your efforts, she belongs to me, just as the world she so reluctantly preserves will eventually belong to the two of us alone. Yes, I empathize with your pain at having to give the girl up. After all, she is the finest specimen brought to maturity under my care. Just look at her. Burn with envy, would-be interloper. You will forever be a millennium too early to win both the maid and the world. Though there is comfort in knowing she cared enough to spare you the knowledge. That said, I believe it's time you showed your affection by sparing her the sight of you. Fare thee well, my misguided romantic. What's gotten into you, my dear? You know it hurts your father's heart to see such a refined young blossom resort to lowly attention-grabbing tactics like this. From where do you learn this behavior? Certainly not from me. No! Don't leave, Daddy. He's hurt.
Friend, wait!
He's not
Friend needs us now. Nessa's following her.
Get it off! 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 Nessa, what are you doing?
When Nessa felt cold, this is how Friend made her warm. It was a very nice thing Friend did for Nessa, so she's happy to return the favor.
Believe me, the last thing I deserve is to be treated with anything like kindness or...
Why do you say that?
I'm a defiled creature, Nessa. There's no denying it. It's who I am.
Nessa thinks you're pretty. When you cry, your tears sparkle like jewels.
Nessa... What's happening?
I remembered this song.
We should go.
Go where?
As long as we can be together, I really couldn't care less where.
Clayne can come too?
Say what you will, our love is not of the common ill. For all your boyish infatuation, the world whose rebirth she represents shall belong only to she and I.
Stop saying that crap.
She is the finest specimen of my art, the very pinnacle of my genius. It's only natural you want to possess her.
Stop it! Stop it!
What are you doing?
What are you doing? More to the point, where is Friend holed up? We have to find her before Alabaster gets to her. What? Oh, do the math. Hey, why the hell is Nessa not with you? Please tell me you didn't just let her wander off. Suck it up, dollface. You don't get all wobbly me when people are depending on you. I mean, you love them or not, pervert?
I do. Oh my god. I've never told Friend the way I feel about her.
You what? Come on!
That defensive detail on board the Tristan has been completely annihilated. We're not going to be able to hold out much longer without reinforcements. we're dead. I wish I could disagree, but I've just received word that the 3 clansmen to back us up have broken from the line. Are you kidding? Betrayal is par for the course. All's fair in love and war, my brothers. My hand has been forced. I'll enact strategy E as we discussed. You two catch a ride out of here with Sunda.
Not a chance.
We're not leaving our leader's side. Thank you both.
Things are getting rougher out there.
Henry! Oh, good. Clade, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but for some reason Alabaster's taken it on themselves to blow the temple to Kingdom Come.
What?
I want you both to get back to the Donnan and steer it as far away from here as you can.
You're not gonna stay behind.
I've got some loose ends to tie up. Clay, what about you?
Yeah, me too.
I'm giving command of the Donnan to you, Henry.
No, you're the captain. I refuse.
Now. I haven't misjudged my little baby sister's ability to man up, have I?
Please, I can't.
Come on, sis. I'll be home before you know it. Talk a minute. You promised me you've got Henry's back.
Yes, sir!
All right, Clay, let's move. You asshole. At least let us get there before you blow us up.
Hold on. What is that music?
Sounds like it's coming from over that way. What's all this?
Friend, Nessa, it's me! Stand down, all of you. We are in the midst of a holy ceremony. I will not allow violence here.
Friend, get away from them!
She has come here of her own volition, boy. She has embraced her calling.
Yeah, sure she has.
Without talking to me about it first? No, come on! You can't!
Come forward. You're welcome to join our prayer. The millennial rite is calling the beloved maidens to heaven's summit, and it would be a shame for us not to share it. I beg of you, let us both widen our narrow ideologies and bestow a blessing upon the world as fellow spirits in peace.
Nicely done. I assume it's all right if I join in as well.
Yes.
I can't even begin to tell you how gratifying it will be to take part in something larger than my narrow ideology.
Stand clear, Archpriestess! He's dangerous!
It's an honor to meet you, Your Grace.
Stand up, please. Your words and manner tell me you are a kindred spirit, sir. Permit me to say that in another life, I believe the two of us might have been the closest of companions.
Permit me to say your words move me as an ocean.
I assume that you've already placed a device in our midst?
Yes, 2 of my greatest friends since childhood gave their lives to see that it was done.
I mourn their loss.
Thank you.
Archpriestess!
What the hell?
Does loneliness plague you?
Sometimes. But in the final loneliness, the 2 of us can be the closest of companions.
I yield my life freely without a qualm in my heart. However, let it be known that I do not yield the world.
Now's our chance! Yeah, don't think about it. Just go!
Are you alright, Rain?
Damn it! Don't worry about it. Just get in the elevator. Stop looking at me and move. How do I get it to go up?
The button there on your side.
And this will take you to Heaven's Summit or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Make sure they get up there safe, okay?
You're not coming?
I really wish I had more time to explain it to you, kid. Honestly, I don't have the first clue how the world ought to be. But I have 0 regrets for the path I chose. Hell, in the end, we've all got to pick sides without knowing what's right for everyone. And now, it's time for you to make a choice. No matter what decision you make, Clayton, we're in this together. You're gonna have to get rid of me first!
Just get in here!
With any luck, I'll see you on the other side.
Don't get comfortable. We're not out of the woods yet. Come on, girl.
We're just gonna leave Sunda and the others back there?
Full speed ahead.
Boss!
Captain's orders, talk me. Hello, friend.
Hope you're not cold.
No.
I'm glad it's warm enough for you in here then.
Nessa likes friends warmth the best.
Are you gonna go through with it?
Yes.
Why?
Nessa's on the verge of completely dissipating. I have to do something.
But, I mean, you said so yourself. Once the 2 of you merge, there's no way of knowing if either one of you will survive.
There is that.
Come on, it's practically suicide.
And if that's the way this unfolds, then at least I'll have walked into it without any illusions. Oblivion isn't such a terrifying idea if you think about it. It's where we come from. It's where we end up.
So you've made up your mind then? Without considering how I feel.
What do you mean, Clayne? How do you feel?
I don't have the first clue how the world ought to be either. Between the Lost Millennium and the Temple, both sides have their pros and cons. If someone asked me to choose one over the other right now, I couldn't. But I know this much. If I lose you and Nessa, I might as well be dead. That's how much it'll hurt.
I really wish you could hear yourself talk right now. Someone like me isn't worth a fraction of the worry you've put yourself through.
Shut up. I love you, okay? Yes, you're volatile. You smack me around. The crap that comes out of your mouth sometimes is insane. The way you do whatever you want can be selfish, but I wouldn't change you if I could. I would, however, risk life and limb to blast my way in here to tell you that.
Please don't do this to me, Clay.
Whatever's gonna happen up there, I want the two of us in it together as much as possible. No, the three of us.
Clay, Nessa, and Finn will be together forever and ever, no matter what happens. Whatever you want, it can wait. Get back to your post. No slacking off till we've reached neutral airspace.
I can see your face reflected in the glass.
It's just that I don't know.
There, girl, let it out. Can I tell you something I think might help? Despite what you might believe, the Lost Millennium didn't arise out of the intention to destroy Fractale and the Temple. It was meant to preserve the memory of life before Fractale so that future generations would know there were once alternatives. In the end, that's the essence of freedom.
It's beautiful.
Careful. Try not to disturb anything. Remember, this is a sanctuary.
So then what exactly are we supposed to be doing?
I'm not sure. Nessa's memory is meant to lead us from this point.
Nessa sees you.
Who do you see, Nessa?
That's you, friend.
That's God.
Hold on in the shot. Okay, so I finished getting ready and I'm about to head into work. A couple of weeks ago, some people with this thing called Fractale or whatever told me they were looking for a girl to help them out. I can't remember exactly how, but it has to do with data. I'm sort of nervous, actually, but I've got to buckle down and go through with it if I don't want Dad to get upset. And the last thing any of us want is for Dad to get upset. But I'll be okay. They're letting me bring Nessa along for the ride. Everything's gonna be fine. I don't know what I'd do without my Nessa. I'm so glad they're letting me be a part of all this stuff. Nessa's not about to let you face it alone. That's what makes you the best friend a girl could ask for, right?
How cheerful she is despite it all.
This is my favorite song. Hey, what is Nessa going to wish for from the Daystar this time? Nessa wants to stuff her face with cake. That sounds good. Well, with lots of berries on top, yeah? Dad's here. Gotta go. Bye-bye.
She's just an ordinary girl.
A lot like me. That's right. She's different from me, though, because she can still smile. She could accept the world as she found it, twisted and malevolent as it was, and still find something worth taking joy in. Just like Nessa.
Are you ready to go?
Thank you. I can find joy in the world now, no matter what I've been through. Because of wonderful people like you. Because of Nessa. What I'm doing now, I do because I want to protect the people I care about. If that means I'm selfish, so be it, Clean. I'm sorry.
I was wrong about that. Whatever happens, I'm here for you both all the way. Once you've merged, I'll bring you home. We'll live together, just like we planned. I want to protect what I care about, too. If that means letting you go through with this, so be it.
Can you stand? Then what do you say to a game of hide and seek?
Ren wants to play now?
You bet, only this time the whole world will be our playground.
Nessa likes the sound of that. Frin is it first, though.
Whatever you want, sweetheart.
Thank you, Clayne. Thank you for you.
Nessa!
I look up to the sky, and nothing I wish to the day star, asking that claims will smile, be boundless as the leading blue.
Oddly enough, I didn't cry. It occurred to me that anyone else in this situation would, but for some reason, I just didn't. Not because I wasn't sad. I was. But what Frin and Nessa wanted most from me was a smile. Maybe the best I could do for them was not cry.
Time for the 5 o'clock prayer. Today we celebrate the first anniversary of Fractale's glorious renewal. Let us bear in mind the noble sacrifices of those who made it possible as we offer up a prayer for continued peace and prosperity under Fractale's benevolent guidance.
My left foot under its benevolent guidance. How gullible do those drones think we are?
Let him spout whatever nonsense helps him sleep at night. At least the temple's out of commission for now.
Good point.
Not to complain, but do our nails have to get so grubby? Come on, man, you're killing me here. Of course they do.
Spoiler, aren't you?
I'm doing my best.
Henry's taking the leadership like a duck to water. Soon they'll be so proud.
Yep.
I got squirmy.
Look, your rear end's sticking out like a sore thumb. You gotta bend those knees
Get
more.
your hands off me, you perv!
the heck was that for?
Someone's taking a page from Clayton's book. Maybe. Yeah, well, don't expect to live up to that tiger's level anytime soon.
That boy. I wonder what he's up to.